It's an exciting day, obviously. 58 degrees and overcast here in Keene. And Ian, what's your favorite thing about opening day?
I just think my favorite thing about opening day is that it's a brand new start. You know, they say hope springs eternal this time of year, and that couldn't be more true here for these two teams. Both squads missed out on the playoffs last season, but they're back at it now, looking for another chance to chase that trophy.
Absolutely. The SwampBats have hosted the Fay Vincent Senior Cup 5 times. The Nighthawks looking for their first championship this season, and like you said, hope springs eternal. It's a good way to put it here on opening day. Let's get right to the starting lineups for the Upper Valley Nighthawks. They come in at no wins, no losses. Ian, take it away.
Yeah, but there's a great chance for both of these teams to get their first win of the year here at Alumni Field for the Upper Valley Nighthawks. So start things off with one of three Hofstra players. Dylan Palmer, the rising sophomore, he'll get the start at second base. Darius Myers from Louisiana Tech will play center, and he'll bat second. Ryan Cesarini from St. Joseph's will bat third in left field. The second of the Hofstra players, Kevin Brugman, will do the catching tonight, and he bats in the cleanup spot. Steve Harrington, not from Stranger Things, but Steve Harrington from Hofstra, will play right field for the Nighthawks. Jake Bullard follows him from Stetson at first base. Garrett Pike from the University of Toledo will be the DH. He bats seventh. Pat D'Amico from Seton Hall will play third base and bats eighth. And then Tyler Long from Mount St. Mary's will play shortstop and rounds out the lineup. The starting pitcher today for the Nighthawks is Jacob Lapham from Hudson Valley Community College.
Thanks so much, Ian. For the SwampBats, they're 0-0 under third-year head coach Sean McKenna. Fourth year, I should say. Third season with the SwampBats at the helm. Sean McKenna from the University of Southern Maine, and his SwampBats line up like this on opening day. Aiden Korn is the DH. He will lead off from Pasco Hernando State. Braden Horton bats second. He's at first base. Goes to Liberty University. Blake Delamelier from Jacksonville is in right field. He bats third. Matt Brown Earring is the cleanup batter, the center fielder from Stony Brook. Garrett Rice, a returning SwampBat, the only returning SwampBat from the 2022 side. That went 17 and 27. He's the second baseman at bats fifth from Missouri Southern State. Trey Chula Hall, the third baseman from Stonehill, bats sixth. Ramses Cordova is the shortstop batting seventh. He goes to Winthrop. Jackson Owen from Northeast Mississippi Community College is the catcher batting eighth, and Alec Rich, the left fielder from Division III Middlebury, is batting number 9. The starting pitcher for the SwampBats from Stetson University is Cole Stallings.
It's two very strong sides here, really looking to get the season started off on the right foot here, and looking back at some history for opening day between these two squads. When Upper Valley opens the season against Keene, they are historically 2-0, but when Keene last season opened their schedule against Upper Valley, it was not Upper Valley's first game, it was Keene's first game. They got a 3-0 win to open their campaign, so a little bit of a rivalry here in the North Division. Both teams really trying to get that upper hand early in the year.
Absolutely, a lot of divisional play early in the season, and in order to get one of those first-round playoff buys in the 16 field, you have to win your division, so these divisional games crucially important all season long. The all-time record for the SwampBats, 19 wins. For the Nighthawks, 16 wins, these two in this matchup, and they've never met in the postseason, so this will be the 36th regular season meeting between these two teams. It's a nice night for baseball. The rain has held off thus far. It's very overcast, 58 degrees, a little bit chilly. And Ian, what do you expect on this opening night? Obviously, hard to have sort of concrete expectations going into the first game of the season. Hardly know each team.
Also important to note that the smoke from the Nova Scotia fires that have canceled some games in the New York area and further south has avoided the Vermont-New Hampshire area here. So thankfully, we could play an opening night here at Alumni Field. But for expectations, as you said, it's very difficult to have any expectations. But looking at some of the stat lines that these players in the starting lineup lineups have put up for their college squads over the spring. I think you can expect a shootout here in this one. You look throughout the lineup, you see some 300 averages, some high slugging numbers as well, especially the right-handed hitters. I think they're going to test the hitter-friendly dimensions here in Keene.
Absolutely. 354 to right field. That's not so hitter-friendly, but 352 to center is, and 325 to left. Some odd dimensions here at Alumni Field, where Keene High School also plays its games, but right center and left center are not too deep, especially right center. Expect a lot of home runs this season at Alumni Field, but Ian, as we'll actually step aside right now, looks like for the national anthem, we'll be back on the other side with the first pitch of Keene SwampBats 2023 baseball. That's next. Pure Oldies 104.1. Forrest, could you try to...
Hubbard Breeders has been part of the community for over 100 years, contributing to...
My bad, Forrest. Okay. Go. Course, watching online on the NECBL network simulcast as well. The starting pitcher for Keene is Cole Stallings. He's on the mound throwing his warm-up pitches. He's goes to Stetson University, and he's the returning SwampBat from 2021, where he pitched 16 1/3 innings to, I beg your pardon, that was last year in the Cape Cod League with the Orleans Firebirds. He pitched 16 1/3 innings with a 3.31 ERA. With the SwampBats in 2021, he was even better. 4-2 with a 2.90 ERA in 31 innings. He also struck out 36. This year with Stetson, he pitched 30 2/3 innings, allowing 34 hits, 25 runs, 23 of them earned, 13 walks and 37 strikeouts. He went 2-2 with a 6.75 ERA. The SwampBats are in their purple uniforms today, purple tops with black sleeves and white piping, purple hats with black bills and the SwampBats logo in front. The Upper Valley Nighthawks are in dark blue tops with neon green piping, Upper Valley in capital letters across the front. They've got some sort of caps, which you can't see at the moment.
They got the batting helmets on right now. I believe they're wearing their blue caps with the logo featuring Vermont and New Hampshire, the new logo debuting this year for Upper Valley.
Very nice, very nice. The home plate umpire is Chris Kane tonight. We'll
get you word on the field umpires in a moment when we can, but let's lay out the fielding defensive alignment for the Keene SwampBats as they are right now. Jackson Owen, he's the catcher behind the plate. Trey Chula Hall is at third base. Ramses Cordova is at shortstop. Garrett Rice, the second baseman. And at first base is Braden Horton. The left fielder is Alec Rich. The center fielder, Matt Brown-Earing. And the right fielder is Blake Delamelier. Dylan Palmer, a second baseman for Upper Valley, leads off. He's a left-hand batter against the right-hand pitcher, Cole Stallings, who works from the first base side of the rubber and looks in as we prepare to get the 2023 NECBL season underway. Wind up, and the first pitch of this season is a fastball outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, Dylan Palmer was phenomenal in his freshman season for Hofstra, hit .369 with the Pride.
1-0 pitch is high, 2 balls and no strikes. Cole Stallings from Stetson University, 3-pitch mix. His fastball averages about 88 miles an hour. Also throws a curveball and a slider. The 2-0 is a fastball high, 3 balls and no strikes on the opening batter of the season for the Upper Valley Nighthawks. First baseman Horton in on the grass. Everyone else is back. 3-0. Fastball in there for strike 1. As Stallings will try and battle back on the opening batter of the season. Pretty good crowd tonight here in Keene. The 3-1 is a fastball foul back to the off the facing of the press box. That's just to the left of home plate here. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Palmer looked a little bit late on the fastball. Wouldn't be surprised if Stallings goes back to it.
Stallings into the wind, and the 3-2 pitch is a fastball in there. Strike 3 called. Looked like he got him on the outside corner there. And coming back from 3-0 on the game-opening batter is Cole Stallings. 1 out and nobody on in the top of the first.
Great start for Stallings. You start off 3-0, but battling back, that's how you get settled right back in. 3 strikes to get him out.
Darius Myers, a right-hand hitter, steps in. First pitch, fastball high, 1-0.
Myers is a returner to Upper Valley, one of 2 returners to the team, along with Randall Alejo.
Stallings with the glove in front of his face looks in, and he's into the wind. The pitch, breaking ball on the inside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out, nobody on. It's pleasant weather, I would say, tonight, Ian. Not a beautiful, gorgeous, sunny day with all the clouds, but good baseball weather nonetheless, as the 1-1 is fouled away to the netting in front of the first base side grandstand. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
We'll say you do see a variety of clothing in the stands. Some fans wearing shorts, others bundled up in a sweatshirt.
Stallings works from the windup out of the first base side of the rubber. 1-2. Is laced in the air toward center. That is going to be caught in center field by Brown-Earing on the run. Racing in from center. I thought that ball was going to duck down for a hit, but Brown-Earing kept on going. Didn't have to slide, just reached down in front of him to make the catch. 2 men away in the first.
He got an excellent read on that ball, a dying line drive off the bat of Myers, but he tracked it all the way and got the catch on the run.
Here's Ryan Cesarini, a left-hand batter, the left fielder for Upper Valley. And he takes ball 1 up high, 1 ball and no strikes.
Cesarini, a phenomenal season at St. Joseph's, 2nd team All-Atlantic 10.
The 1-0, breaking ball on the inside corner, strike 1. So he's fallen behind in the count on all 3 batters so far, Cole Stallings, but on course here with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the first. 1-1. Fastball popped up, third base side, foul ground, might be playable. Chula Hall over for a look, and he makes the catch. Must have been a nice catch by the way the fans reacted with our vantage point here in the press box. Couldn't really see it, but a nice catch on a foul out by Chula Hall as Trey makes the play to retire the side in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Half an inning gone on opening night. It's the Upper Valley Nighthawks nothing and the Keene SwampBats coming to bat.
At M&T Bank, we believe in the power of together. Together, we can help your business grow. Together, we can move communities forward while giving back. Together, we can help your family spend more time on what matters most. And together, we can achieve more than ever before.
For Upper Valley, he'll face Aiden Korn, Braden Horton, and Blake Delamelier. For the SwampBats in the home half of the first, Ian, take us through the defensive alignment for Upper Valley.
So right to left across the infield for the team wearing blue tonight. Jake Bullard at first base. Dylan Palmer is at second. Tyler Long at shortstop. Pat D'Amico at third. Then left to right across the outfield, Ryan Cesarini, Darius Myers, and Steve Harrington. The battery tonight for the Nighthawks, Kevin Brugman is doing the catching. As you mentioned, Jacob Lapham is on the mound.
Long-haired righty wears number 24, works from the first base side of the rubber, and he'll face the right-hand batter, Aiden Korn, from Pasco Hernando State in Florida to start his night, and he throws one to the backstop. Missed the lefty batter's box and went right by the catcher, Brugman. 1-0. Korn, Horton, and Delamelier for the SwampBats in the bottom of the first. Swing and a miss. Late on a fastball there was Korn. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Lapham has a lively fastball. 4.91 ERA this season at Hudson Valley Community College.
Open stance for Korn. The 1-1. Fouled back on a couple bounces to the backstop. 1 and 2. Korn was terrific at Pasco Hernando State this season, hitting .422, .485 the on-base percentage, and .613 the slugging. 1-2 is down low. Good spot there on a breaking ball, but Korn would not chase. And a count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Korn here looking to get the first base runner of the game after the Nighthawks were retired in order.
Right on right. Set at the belt, now in front of his face. Now the wind and the 2-2. Foul back. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good swing by Korn. A pitch that really jammed him up and in from Lapham, but he was able to keep his hands in, just get enough to stay alive.
Sean McKenna, the head coach for the SwampBats in his 3rd season at the helm, is coaching third as the 2-2 misses low and away. Dropped by the catcher Brugman, and it's 3-2. Full count on the first SwampBats batter of 2023. Sean McKenna coaching third. Assistant coach Casey O'Brien is the first base coach for Keene. The 3-2. Fastball just missed high, and he walked him. Aiden Korn gets the SwampBats offense off to a good start this season. And that will bring up the Liberty Flames, Braden Horton. Braden, the first baseman for Keene, he hit .342 at Liberty in the collegiate season. He's a left-hand batter. First pitch to him. Fastball at the knees on the outer half. 0-1.
And working the count against Lapham is going to be so important. He only walked 20 batters over 55 innings this year in community college, so trying to settle back in here after a leadoff walk.
Throw over to first, and back in there standing is Aiden Korn. Don't have to worry about the 2 pickoffs rule in the NECBL. Haven't adopted that or the pitch clock. Some of the other changes from MLB. The 0-1 is swung on and missed. Behind on the fastball, and it's 0-2 on Braden Horton. Whereas number 4's got a shin guard over his right foot. And an open stance, right on left. The 0-2 pitch is hit on the ground to second. Not very hard. Palmer picks it up, throws to first. And Korn advances to second, so he didn't hit it very hard. No concern of a double play there. It's a 4-3 putout. Braden Horn. Korn moves up into scoring position with 1 out in a scoreless game, bottom of the first.
Productive out there by Horton. Rolls over on one pitch on the outside to the right-handed batter, but moves the runner into scoring position, as you said, for a dangerous hitter in Delamelier.
Blake Delamelier, 302 batter at Jacksonville University this season. He's the right fielder for Keene, right on right. And this one hits the umpire, gets away from the catcher. Korn moves to third. The concern here is for Chris Kane, who gets up, staggers, and goes down to a knee again. That was, it's his left wrist. Looks like one of the athletic trainers and head coach Sean McKenna come out and check on the umpire. I think that caught him clean to the left wrist. Should be a pass ball.
It looked like Brugman might have gotten crossed up as he's discussing things with Lapham right now. But as you said,
I bet that's the case.
The concern is with Kane. You could hear it here in the booth, hit off of his wrist. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, I've been back there before, but not when they're throwing 90 miles an hour. Maybe it hurts bad enough in Little League, and your Little League umpire, Ian, at 60 miles an hour. I feel bad for the umpire, Chris Kane. Hope he's able to be all right. Oh, man, there's no deflection, no foul tip, nothing. Like a fastball. And I bet you're right. First game of the season, these guys haven't worked together too much. Seems likely that was a cross-up. You could still score at a pass ball. But Chris Kane, he got up. He went down, got up, staggered a few steps, and then went down again. And just hope that the umpire is okay here. That's all you can really say. He's being attended to by, looks like, the SwampBats athletic trainer. Sean McKenna is checking on him as well. And at the bottom of the first inning here, in the first game of the season, we've got an unfortunate injury to an umpire right here.
Just wanted to clean up. It has officially scored a wild pitch, which will advance Korn to third. And as the home plate umpire, Chris Kane, still seated on the grass behind home plate. Now he's getting to a knee and to his feet for just a moment to support and cheers of the fans here at Keene. He goes back down to a knee.
It's the first inning, so he hasn't had time to make enemies yet. Everybody's being pretty compassionate, which is good to see.
First inning of the first game of the season, might I add. So
that's right.
Definitely everyone wants the umpires happy and healthy for the long stretch here in the NECBL.
And there's just not much going on right now. They're still checking on the umpire. It looks like the athletic trainers come out with a bag of ice. You've seen this, unfortunately, the nature of being a home plate umpire is you're right in the line of fire with limited protection. And so, you've seen as he's able to stand up now, which is very good to see. And you get the applause from the fans in the grandstand. A good opening night turnout.
Quick look around the league here in the NECBL. Other games getting underway soon or just getting underway. North Adams Steeplecats play host to the Valley Blue Sox. The Danbury Westerners open their season at home against the Ocean State Waves. Mystic plays their second game of the season against Vermont. That game is Vermont's first one. They play on the road. Martha's Vineyard plays the North Shore Navigators, and the Bristol Blues travel to Newport to face the Gulls.
Yesterday in the NECBL opener, Newport beat Mystic 5-3. The six-time champion Gulls, the only team that's won the NECBL more often than the 5 times the SwampBats have been league champions, most recently in 2019. So the standings going into today, not too much to report. Everybody is 0-0 except for Newport at 1-0 and Mystic at 0-1. They're in the Coastal Division. 13 teams in the NECBL this year, one fewer than last year after the Winnipesaukee Muskrats folded. So we've got 4 teams in the North Division, including both of these two, Keene and Upper Valley, 5 in the Coastal Division and 4 in the West Division. 3 division winners plus 3 wild cards will make the playoffs. The 2 best division winners will get a first-round bye, and that's how you'll get our 16 playoff bracket.
And with the scheduling this year, coming into the season, you'd think the logistics got a little bit more difficult with the odd number of teams, but teams are very happy with the schedule that they had. Very competitive league this year, and excited to see who will be on top at the end of it. I think it's going to be very close in all 3 of the divisions.
Yeah, the NECBL, not only one of the premier summer collegiate leagues in the country, but a consistently competitive league as well. Last year, Newport and Vermont set league records with 32 and 12 records. 32 wins, both setting a league record, but it was the Martha's Vineyard Sharks who were a few wins shy of that in the regular season, who beat Vermont in the Fay Vincent Senior Cup, lifted the cup, and they're the defending champions going into this year. They're still trying to take care of the umpire, Chris Keene, who is on his feet, and by the looks of it, will be able to continue this game, which is obviously a good thing. The moment he got hit, it was definitely concerning. And I'm sure he's in pain.
He's flexing out his left arm right now, and looks like they're checking on him, making sure it's okay. Of course, love to see Chris Keene continue in this one, but everyone looking out for each other and doing what's best for the umpire. But looks like he has a brace strapped on. He's getting the mask ready to go. Shakes the hand of Kevin Brugman behind home plate. Looks like Lapham coming out as well, wants to give his condolences, but he's going to stay in this ball game.
That is very good to see. As the umpire, looks like Chris Keene will be able to tough it out. Give him credit for that, because I'm sure he's in a very decent amount of pain on that left wrist, which is now bandaged and iced up. And hopefully Kevin Brugman and Jacob Lapham, the battery for the Nighthawks, have got their signs sorted out.
Yeah, definitely want to be on the same page now with those signs. It is difficult to get on the same page early, but now it's so important not only with what just happened, but with the runner on third base now.
No score, bottom of the first. 1 out and a runner at third after the wild pitch that was the reason for the umpire injury that caused the delay. 1 ball, no strikes on Delamelier, and he takes a called strike, 1-1. So lengthy delay there, but very fortunate that Chris Keene, home plate umpire, is able to continue in that role. The 1-1 is bounced slowly foul, wriggled foul about halfway to the on-deck circle. It comes to rest. A ball and 2 strikes. Chris Keene, the home plate umpire, is joined by Tim Barrett umpiring at first, Connor Hoagland umpiring at third. 3-man umpiring crews the NECBL regular season. Right on right, Lapham to Delamelier. The pitch is inside. It hit him. And just grazed his jersey. Delamelier heads down to first, and the hit by pitch may be a bit fortunate, Ian, for Upper Valley, because it keeps the run from scoring.
Absolutely. The dead ball, runners have to stay put, and not only that, but it also puts the inning-ending double play in order with runners on the corners. But of course, the batter, Matt Brown-Airing, trying to stay out of that.
And he's the cleanup batter. 297 hitter at Stony Brook this season with the Seawolves. Right on right, and the first pitch is a fastball inside, 1-0. Brown-Airing, 297 the batting average, 364 on base, and 487 slugging with Stony Brook this past spring. Well, 1-0. high, 2-0. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Bottom of the first, no score between Upper Valley and the hosts Keene. Lapham looks in, sets at the belt, working from the first base side. 2-0. Fastball up and in. 3 balls and no strikes, and he's 1 more away from loading the bases here in the bottom of the first.
Brown Earring is a veteran of the NECBL, spent last season with Winnipesaukee, and with them he drove in 7 runs.
On 3-0, Brown Earring takes ball 4 up and in. And the bases are loaded for the SwampBats without benefit of a hit here in the bottom of the first.
And for Upper Valley, easiest base is the out. Of course, you'd like to get the out at home. The corner infielders will come in. Middle infield stays back. With Garrett Rice coming to the plate, he's got 3 on the pond for him.
A 2022 SwampBat hit .333 this spring at Missouri Southern State. And the righty takes a fastball upstairs, 1-0. And time is asked for by the pitching coach for Upper Valley. They'll go meet at the mound. And Ian, I can only figure this probably has something to do with the delay, the injury to the umpire, because since then, Lapham has been struggling with his command.
Yeah, as Chad Sturgeon comes out of the dugout to talk to him, really trying to settle back in is that delay and also just the uncertainty that might come with a pitch and the event that happened with the wild pitch catching the home plate umpire today, Chris Keene. Needs to settle in now, just play catch with his battery mate, Kevin Brugman.
He did walk the first batter, but then he induced a ground out before hitting Delamelier and walking Brown Earring. Bases loaded, 1 out, no score, bottom of the first. 1 ball and no strikes on Garrett Rice. And the pitch is hit in the air, left field, pretty deep. Cesarini back, he looks up, it's a grand slam! A first-inning grand slam is the first hit of the season for the SwampBats, and it's Garrett Rice putting Keene up 4-0 in the first.
Well, it doesn't get any grander than that. The first hit of the year plates 4 runs for the Keene SwampBats. What a swing by Garrett Rice, sends it out over the left center field wall. And that gives the SwampBats an early 4-0 lead.
I think in that situation, Lapham is just trying to throw a strike. Looked like it might have been a breaking ball. The pitch, and Rice got a hold of that. Cesarini running out of room quickly in left field. 382 feet, 92-mile-an-hour exit velocity on that grand slam as Trey Chula Hall takes ball 1. The 1-0. Is taken low, 2 balls and no strikes.
Now Lapham really has to settle in now on the mound for Upper Valley. Don't want this to get any bigger of an inning for Keene than it already is.
Chula Hall, third baseman from Stonehill, right-hand batter, pops up the 2-0. Foul ground, right side, in play. Bullard, the first baseman, gives way to Palmer, the second baseman, who makes the catch. 2 men away.
Good bounce back there for the pitcher Lapham. Come right back and get the pop-up in foul territory for the out. 1 pitch away now from getting out of this jam with only the 4 runs. Still a big number, but could be a lot more damage after the bases loaded start.
That'll bring up Ramses Cordova, a right-hand batting shortstop, and he takes a strike at the letters, 0-1. 4-0 SwampBats at the bottom of the first. The 0-1 is in there, strike 2 called. Keene with 2 outs and nobody on now after the grand slam. The 0-2. Down and away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lapham is still gotta try and work past what's already happened and try and give Upper Valley a decent amount of length here on opening night. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him with a high fastball. First strikeout for Jacob Lapham. And that retires the side. But for Keene, 4 runs on 1 big hit. The grand slam by Garrett Rice. No errors and nobody left on base at the end of 1. It's Keene 4, Upper Valley 0. You're listening to Keene SwampBats Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1. Bottom of the first, grand slam by second-year SwampBat Garrett Rice. Upper Valley went down 1-2-3 in the top of the first against the Stetson University right-hander Cole Stallings. They'll send up 4-5 at 6. Kevin Brugman, the catcher, Steve Harrington, the right fielder, and Jake Bullard, the first baseman, here in the top of the second. Right on right, Brugman fouls the first pitch back, 0-1.
2 Hofstra bats to lead things off for the Nighthawks here. Hofstra Pride were 2022 CAA champions.
The 0-1 to Brugman is in there, strike 2.
And both Brugman and Harrington were all CAA honorees this year. Harrington on deck, Brugman at the plate now.
The 0-2 pitch is pulled foul on the ground, third base side. Still no balls and 2 strikes. And 3 straight strikes thrown by Stallings after he fell behind all 3 batters in the top of the first, despite retiring all 3 in the end. And 0-2 from Stallings. Did he go? Yes, he did, on a breaking ball in the dirt. Tag applied by the catcher, Jackson Owen. 1 out in the second, and that's the second strikeout for Cole Stallings.
And Stallings has been very efficient so far. Just 16 pitches needed to record the first 4 outs. Will serve him very nicely as the season progresses.
Steve Harrington, the right fielder, bats next. He's a left-hand batter with a small open stance right at the back edge of the batter's box, and he takes a strike, 0-1. Outfield pretty deep, as I think it will be most of the season here in Keene, with relatively small dimensions, unless you're going to straightaway right, as the 0-1 is low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike, not even straightaway right. It's down the right field line where you have the odd 354 dimension, but other than that, it's a pretty small ballpark. Hitter friendly. 1-1. Breaking ball on the inner half. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
For left-handed hitters like Harrington, you have to think about going the opposite way.
Or at least not pulling it straight down the line. The 1-2 is hit the opposite way. Foul and out of play down the left field line. Out of the ballpark here, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes still on Harrington, the right fielder. Lights are on here at Alumni Field. One of the bigger stadiums in the NECBL, 4,100 capacity. 1-2, breaking ball swung on and missed, strike 3, held on to by Owen. 5 up, 5 down for Cole Stallings, 3 via the strikeout.
That breaking ball is working really well for Stallings. 2 swinging and miss strikeouts early on here in the second inning. If that pitch can stay on fire, he can go deep into this ball game.
Now Jake Bullard, the first baseman. He takes high, 1-0. Stallings fell behind on the opening batter of the game, Dylan Palmer, 3-0. Came back to strike him out, and he's been pretty perfect since. 1-0. Is lined toward right, moving over to Lamelier. He makes the catch. A few steps in front of the warning track on a hard hit ball, but that retires the side. 1-2-3 go the Nighthawks in their half of the second, middle of 2. And it's Keene 4, Upper Valley nothing on the NECBL network, and listening to Keene SwampBats baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1. SwampBats will have 8, 9, and 1 due up in the order. Jackson Owen, Alec Rich, and Aiden Korn after they took a 4-0 lead on Garrett Rice's one-out grand slam in the bottom of the first.
Jacob Lapham returns to the mound for Upper Valley, looking to shake off that 4 spot in the bottom of the first, try to answer with another 0 after Cole Stallings has settled into an early groove for the home squad.
Yeah, 6 up and 6 down for Stallings, the starter for Keene. 2 walks, hit by pitch, and a grand slam for the Keene hitters in the bottom of the first. Jackson Owen from Northeast Mississippi Community College, right-hand batter, leads off, and he takes low and outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Owen hit .255 with a .418 on base percentage, .528 slugging in the spring. 1-0, down low, 2 balls, no strikes. Lapham wanted the call. I don't know if he's going to get too many favors, though, the rest of this game out of Chris Keene. 2-0, fouled away to the right and out of play. 2 balls and a strike.
And especially, not only that, but when he was as wild as he was early on, you get that established zone. It's much smaller than it could be if he's efficient.
A 2-1, breaking ball catches the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jackson Owen got a commitment to Mississippi State, the 2021 College World Series champions. That's where he'll be headed next year. As a 2-2 is low, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Tough year for the Bulldogs this year. Missed the SEC tournament, but looking to bounce back with some fresh talent.
Including Keene's Jackson Owen. He swings and misses. It's strike 3. Fastball high. Second strikeout for Jacob Lapham. 1 out, nobody on in the bottom of the second. It's 4-0 SwampBats. Number 9 batter, Alec Rich, left fielder of Middlebury College. .310 batter there this season as he takes it up and in 1-0. Not too many Division III guys in the NECBL, Ian, and when you have one, you know, they're pretty good lighting it up at that level, and Alec Rich is doing just that as the 1-0's fouled off to the right. 1 ball and 1 strike. Alec, the 2022 NESCAC Conference Player of the Year. And the NESCAC is considered to be one of the premier conferences in Division III. 1-1, holds on the ground. It hit him in the box. Goes down the third baseline, but Chris Keene says it hit him in the box, and it's a foul ball.
Rich not only talented at the D3 level, but also he's slowly starting to rewrite the Middlebury record books. Holds a single-season record for runs, stolen bases, RBIs, and walks, rather. Excuse me. So, very solid season for the Middlebury player.
1-2 from Lapham. Breaking ball swung out and missed strike 3. Struck out the last 3 and retired the last 4 since the grand slam. Good recovery by Lapham so far. You can never ruin a start in the first inning, even if you give up a grand slam, unless you give up 7, 8 runs and get pulled. But Lapham certainly still has the potential to bounce back and give his team a decent start this evening. First pitch to Aiden Korn with 2 outs and nobody on in the dirt, 1-0. 4-0 Keene, bottom of the second. 1-0. At the knees, a strike, 1-1. Korn walked and eventually scored on the grand slam in the first inning. 1-1. Fouled off to the right, into the trees and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. No wind to speak of with the very overcast skies. The flag behind the Alumni Field scoreboard in right center is still. 1-2. Fastball way upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lapham looking to strike out the side here in the second inning.
Would be a nice response for him. Get settled into a groove.
Can't do too much better, in fact. Wind up 2-2. Is hit in the air to right, sinking liner, and it's down for a hit. Harrington plays it on a hop. Aiden Korn on for the second time in as many innings. Second base hit of the ball game. Both for the SwampBats. And Braden Horton will bat with 2 outs and a runner at first.
Just an inside-out swing from Korn, fighting off a pitch on the inside part of the plate, but enough strength to muscle it out the opposite field, right center field for a base hit. It keeps the inning alive for the SwampBats.
Korn leads off first, and the first pitch to Horton gets away into the backstop. Chasing it is Brugman. He gets there in time on the warning track behind home plate in time to keep Korn from going all the way to third, which for a moment seemed like a possibility, but he's at second on the wild pitch. Second wild pitch for Lapham. 1-0, now a runner in scoring position for the SwampBats. The pitch. Fastball outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Korn on second with 2 outs. Keene looking to add to their 4-run lead. Midfield, outfield, straight up more or less. With the ball hanging from his right hand. Lapham comes set now at the belt. 2-0. Missed outside, not close with that one. 3 balls, no strikes. Blake Delamelier, who was hit by a pitch his first time up, waits on deck.
Interesting to see if he comes at Horton, who does have a power threat at the plate, where he pitches around him.
First base open, the 3-0. Fastball in there, strike 1. I'm curious how the Nighthawks are looking in terms of pitching depth early in the season. That tends to often be an issue in summer ball. The 3-1 is a little bit low, ball 4. Third walk allowed by Lapham, and there are runners at first and second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning.
And a little bit early on in the season for the Nighthawks. They're still missing 4 guys on the pitching staff, 2 at Southern Miss and 2 at Kentucky, who are still playing playoff baseball with their respective schools, advancing to the Super Regionals. But there are some good names, some good talents on the roster here early on.
2 on, 2 out. Foul ball down the first base side. Worm burner down there, 0-1.
Carson Fry announced as the Game 2 starter, as the Nighthawks will travel down to Ocean State to play tomorrow. But right now relying on Lapham, trying to put a 0 on the scoreboard after a 4 spot in the first.
Keene will be back at home tomorrow at Alumni Field at 6:30 against the Sanford Mainers, another North Division rival. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good fastball there from Lapham inside. 0-2.
Fastball looks to be his best pitch, the one he has the most command of as well. Let's see if he goes back to it, even though it is an 0-2 count.
A strike away from getting out of this jam. He retired the first 2 via the strikeout. Next 2 reached. Right on right, the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with an off speed. He strikes out the side and strands 2 in the second inning. That's the 4th strikeout for Jacob Lapham. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. At the end of 2, it's the SwampBats 4, the Nighthawks 0. You're listening to Keene SwampBats Baseball. Opening night, Alumni Field. Overcast, chilly evening in Keene, but still a good turnout. Tonight's game sponsored by Monadnock Ford here at Alumni Field. We'll be back tomorrow night for a game sponsored by Games to Go. There'll be a lot of good entertainment, as there is every home game here at Alumni Field this season. Garrett Pike leads off the visiting 30, takes down and away. Left-hand batter ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Pike the DH, 7, 8, 9 here for the Nighthawks, who haven't had a base runner yet. 1-0. Foul back, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Pike, a great power bat out of the University of Toledo, slugged .623 this season for the Rockets, and he's looking to send a rocket here to get the Nighthawks on the board.
1-1, lefty takes a strike. Fastball there from Stallings, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stallings has been flawless so far. Small windup, 1-2. Fastball a little bit low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cole Stallings pitched out of the bullpen this past spring for Stetson. Got 3 saves, but starting opening night here in Keene. 2-2. Down low, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
For Pike, he has to settle in here. Doesn't want to come unscrewed on a pitch he can hit, but just try to find a way on base.
Payoff. Lined. Soft liner on a hop to shortstop. Picked up by Cordova. Throws to first. In time. 1 man away. Line drive off the bat, but with backspin. It's set up on a hop in front of the charging shortstop Cordova for the 6-3 putout.
And that could be a very difficult play for a shortstop if they let the hop play them, but instead Cordova did a good job of getting to the ball quickly and then throwing out Pike for the first out.
Typically those backspin hops are relatively friendly if you're a fielder, and a good job by Cordova there of charging that as well. Here's Pat D'Amico. Right-hand batter fouls one away over the grandstand. 0-1. D'Amico, the third baseman, batting 8th on the opening night lineup for Upper Valley. The 0-1. High, 1-1. Ian, you know, the opening week of the season is always interesting in Summer Baseball League. There's a lot of roster shuffling. Some guys still playing in the Super Regionals. Some guys still yet to get in after playing in the Regionals, as the 1-1 is in for a strike, 1-2. So oftentimes the opening day lineup is not the lineup that we'll see all season long, probably in the cases of both of these teams. 1-2. Is reached for, rolled over to first base. A few hops picked up by Horton. He steps on the bag. 2 men away.
And you're very right. It's a case of getting off to a good start, yes, but you know, if you have confidence that you have some players that are coming later in the season who can really show up and be a big contributor to the team, it's finding that stopgap earlier in the season that's not going to hit 150, but will be a contributor all the way throughout the season.
Tyler Long, the shortstop, batting with 2 outs and nobody on, and he takes a ball inside. 4-0 SwampBats, top of the 3rd, with the Nighthawks at bat. Still looking for their first base runner, the 1-0. Fastball fouled off over the grandstand, 1 ball and 1 strike. That's well put, Ian, but these games matter as much as any other. It's not easy to make the playoffs, as these 2 teams know well from last season. Only 6 of the 13 teams make the playoffs, so from game 1, it's full steam ahead from a managerial perspective. This breaking ball misses, 2-1.
And for first-year manager Matt Paws for the Nighthawks, he wants to get things started and on a positive note for the Nighthawks.
A 2-1 foul back, 2-2. Both of these managers have prior experience as an assistant coach for their respective squads. Sean McKenna was the assistant coach for the NECBL title-winning squad in 2019 before taking over after that. 2-2 on Tyler Long. Winds up and the pitch. Fastball just missed.
It looked good from here.
Yeah, we're off center here in the press box. We're down the 3rd baseline, so it's hard to tell inside, outside where we are, but I'm guessing it was one of the 2. 3-2 is low and outside. And the first base runner of the game for the Nighthawks, 2-out walk in the 3rd.
A big yell from the Nighthawks dugout directly below us in our broadcast booth. They're happy to get a runner on and get something going here, trying to string together a 2-out rally with Dylan Palmer in the top of the lineup coming up.
Palmer struck out looking after being ahead 3-0 to begin the game, begin the season. Shula Hall, the third baseman, in on the grass in case of a bunt. First baseman Horton holding on the runner long. First pitch. Line toward the middle on a hop. Cordova flips to second base. Rice covering the bag. They go the short way and get the out to retire the side. Looks like a good shortstop there. Ramses Cordova. He's handled his 2 chances very nicely. 6-4 on the fielder's choice to retire the side in the top of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. Middle of the third. Keene 4, Upper Valley nothing. This is Keene SwampBats baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 in the NECBL network.
Your next Ford is waiting at Monadnock Ford. Right now, get a great offer like this on your next new Ford. See these offers and more at MonadnockFord.com. Monadnock Ford, home of the low price tire guarantee and your local Ford and used car retailer. Voted Keene's best.
Garrett Rice, first inning grand slam. Jacob Lapham still out there on the mound for the Nighthawks. He pitched a scoreless second inning after putting up that grand slam in the first. 4, 5, and 6 for Keene in the bottom half of the third. Matt Brown Earring, then Garrett Rice and Shrey Chula Hall for the SwampBats. Keene looking to get an opening night W. Again, as we've said, both these teams missing the playoffs last year. The North Division shrinking from 5 to 4 teams this year with the departure of the Muskrats, as Brown Earring swings and misses at the first pitch, strike 1 here in the bottom of the third. So the NECBL now 13 teams this year, 4 in the North Division, as he takes a strike on a breaking ball, 0-2. For the North, 5 in the Coastal Division, including the defending champion Martha's Vineyard Sharks, and 4 in the West Division. Here's a ground ball to third on 3 hops, picked up by D'Amico, throws to first in time, 1 man away. That brings up the hero so far, Garrett Rice. Rice wearing number 18, right-hand batter with a left shin guard. Gets the right-hand pitcher, Jacob Lapham. And he gets hit by the pitch. It just skidded off his left shoulder / jersey. And I don't think there's any question of intent, even with Rice hitting the grand slam off of Lapham in the first inning. Second hit batsman in addition to 3 walks given up by Lapham, who has struck out 4. So 1 on, 1 out for Trey Chula Hall, who fouled out his first time up. And he swings at the first pitch, hits it on a hop to third. D'Amico goes to second, 1. Long's relay to first is in time. It's an inning-ending double play on the first pitch from Trey Chula Hall. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left through 3. It's Keene 4, Upper Valley nothing. This is Keene SwampBats baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 in the NECBL network.
Welcome to Hurt Skirt or Just Hurt. Our first contestant is suffering from knee pain from a recent running incident. What do we think, audience? Hurt Skirt or Just Hurt? Why not try Hurt Skirt? Make your recovery hassle-free with Hurt Skirt, a patent-pending, stretch-to-fit, hot-cold therapeutic sleeve, proven to stay cold longer and still remain completely mobile. Drop the ice, skirt the hurt.
At Alumni Field, it's a 4-0 lead for the SwampBats. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base so far for Upper Valley through 3 innings. For Keene, they've got 4 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. With a play-by-play of the 4th, 5th, and 6th, here's Ian.
Thank you very much. As the Upper Valley Nighthawks are set to get things going in the top of the 4th with Adarius Myers. Returning to the mound is Cole Stallings for Keene. First pitch to Myers is quickly lined back up the middle and underneath the glove of Cordoba for a base hit.
Should be a single. Cordoba ranging over to his left, reached down for it, couldn't get it, but a base hit there for Myers, first of the game against Cole Stallings.
Aggressive approach for Myers, first pitch swinging, and that gets the first hit of the ball game on the board for the Upper Valley Nighthawks here in the 4th inning. And Ryan Cesarini to the plate now, runner on first. With some speed is Adarius Myers at a big lead, and that draws a quick throw over from Cole Stallings. He's back in safe. Cesarini, his first time up back in the 1st, popped up in foul territory on a nice play by Chula Hall in front of the third base dugout. That's popped up third base side. Chula Hall looking again, but this time he has no play. It bounces off the bleachers. Third base side, just a strike 1.
There's quite a bit of foul territory here at Alumni Field, all over the field, infield and the outfield.
In fact, the foul territory at one point gives way to open field down both foul lines. There's a chalk line that denotes what is out of play and what is fair game. Runner goes, the 0-1 count, pitches outside, the throw is well in time, and Myers is caught stealing. Score it 2-6 on the put out there as the shortstop Cordoba was covering. Myers is retired, pitch was a strike. It's now an 0-2 count to Cesarini. The pitch. It's a fastball low, blocked by the catcher, Owen. Oh, Myers was only caught once in his collegiate season with Louisiana Tech, but not so this time. 0 for 1 now in the NECBL season. Fastball is chopped foul. We'll do it again, still a 1-2 count. One down here in the inning after Adarius Myers was caught stealing. A 4-0 lead for the homestanding Keene SwampBats. 1-2 to Cesarini. Fouled off straight back. And count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. To the Nighthawks left fielder, Cesarini. The left-handed batter steps back in against the right-handed throwing Stallings. The righty kicks and fires. Fastball, maybe a tad inside. Count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good at bat put up here by Cesarini. Another 2-2. Breaking ball hangs up, and the count is now full.
Kevin Brugman, the cleanup hitter, waits on deck.
the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Runs in and clips the batter. Cesarini will reach on a hit-by pitch. It would have been ball 4 anyways if he got out of the way, but clips him on the upper thigh, and the Nighthawks will have another base runner, this time with 1 out. So here's Kevin Brugman to the plate now. Another base runner on for Upper Valley. See if Cesarini decides to go. An aggressive lead over there at first base.
Brugman struck out his first time.
First pitch to Brugman. A swing and a foul tip. Just gets enough of it to send it back to the backstop for strike 1.
Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard so far. A lot of action in the NECBL tonight. This one of 6 games going on.
Quick throw over, and Cesarini back safely.
Vermont leads Mystic 2-1 in the 4th. North Shore and the defending champions Martha's Vineyard tied at 2 in the 3rd in the Vineyard.
The 0-1 hangs up high and in, 1-1.
The Newport Gulls looking to go to 2-0. They lead Bristol 2-0 at home in the 4th. And the Danbury Westerners have a 5-0 lead against the Ocean State Waves in the 3rd.
1-1. Ooh, look out. Runs up and in and catches Brugman on the shoulder blade. And back-to-back hit-by pitches have put 2 on base for Upper Valley. And that will send Jackson Owen out to have a discussion with Cole Stallings.
How big was that caught stealing against Myers? An excellent throw by Jackson Owen to nail the runner. That's the only out. Otherwise, it could be no outs and the bases loaded.
That could loom large, as still a ground ball would get Stallings out of the inning if the Keene SwampBats can turn 2.
Owen caught 9 out of 46 runners stealing this past spring against at Northeast Mississippi Community College.
There's a clutch hitter at the plate now in Steve Harrington. Harrington at Hofstra this season drove in 46 runs. He has 2 on base for him here, looking to drive in at least 1 as Cesarini is in scoring position. First pitch to Harrington is inside. He ducks out of the way for ball 1.
Stallings going to get a visit here from Hunter Cooley, the pitching coach for Keene. Hunter just finished up his collegiate pitching career at Florida Atlantic University. Now he's starting his coaching career.
So he comes out and has a discussion with both Stallings and Owen. After Stallings was cruising through 3, only allowed 1 base runner on a walk. He's now run into a little bit of struggles here in the 4th. 3 straight have reached, and the only out was recorded on a caught stealing. A great throw by Jackson Owen.
So try to settle down here. You don't have the tying run at the plate yet if you're the pitcher Stallings. Keep that in mind. Throw strikes.
1-0 is the count to the left-handed batter Harrington. The pitch. Swinging a fly ball to left field. This will send the left fielder Rich back, and a step shy of the warning track reels it in for the 2nd out. So Harrington just missed one to the short porch in left field, and instead it's just 2 outs and a big out, big pitch for Cole Stallings.
Yeah, he just got under it and sent it out to the opposite field, even though he hit that off the barrel of the bat. Outfielders play deep here, as we've said. Rich didn't have to move very far, even though he caught it a step in front of the track.
2 on, 2 out now for Jake Bullard. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to right. First pitch. Fastball at the knees for a called strike. Bullard, the product from Stetson, hailing from Hampton, New Hampshire.
This is teammate on teammate at
Yes, it is.
Stetson University.
Which Hatter will prevail? The 0-1. A chopper to third, and rather it's going to be cut off by the shortstop Cordova. The throw is in time at first. The side is retired. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on for the Nighthawks. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Still a 4-0 lead for the SwampBats. This is NECBL Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1.
Your next Ford is waiting at Monadnock Ford. Right now, get a great offer like this on your next new Ford. See these offers and more at MonadnockFord.com. Monadnock Ford, home of the low price tire guarantee and your local Ford and used car retailer. Voted Keene's best.
A 4-0 for the SwampBats against the Upper Valley Nighthawks. We head to the bottom of the fourth now, as it will be 7-8-9 due up for Keene. Cordova, Owen, and Rich looking to pad the lead here against Jacob Lapham and the Nighthawks. Lapham out for a fourth inning of work. Has settled in nicely after the fourth spot in the first inning. Since then is not allowed a run. But the bottom of the order will try to say something about that. Cordova to the plate now. He struck out his first time up. That ended the fourth spot in the bottom of the first. First pitch swinging, grounds it to third. Tough play for D'Amico. The throw across the field. And a nice pick and stretch by Jake Bullitt at first to get the out.
Real nice play there by D'Amico. Couldn't really charge it. It was hit pretty hard. They had to go down backhanded to his left and make a long throw all the way across the diamond. And Bullard on the stretch, able to grab it at the other end.
One pitch, one out for Lapham as Jackson Owen to the plate. The first pitch. It's a breaking ball in the dirt for ball one.
You gotta say, Lapham has done a nice job after that grand slam with one out in the first inning. Rebound. He's allowed a hit, a walk, and a hit by pitch, but also induced a double play since then and struck out 4.
Fastball low and away for ball 2. He had an unorthodox 1-2-3 inning last time. Hit by that double play ball that ended the inning. The batter Owen will readjust his pants. He's got his pants rolled up at the bottom, showing his dark purple socks. That's a line drive up the middle, base hit, past the reach of a diving Dylan Palmer at second. And a one-out base runner now for the SwampBats after a hard line drive by the catcher Owen. Good piece of hitting there by Jackson Owen.
Yeah, nicely done. Right off the barrel. Smacked up the middle. On the ground a little bit, but no chance for Palmer there on that dive.
That brings up Alec Rich. First pitch at the knees, a called strike. Rich was a strikeout victim his first time up in the bottom of the second. One of 3 in a row that were retired via the punch-out by Jacob Lapham. 0-1, called strike 2, same spot. Runner on first. Owen getting a healthy lead, but no indication that he's going at first. Does have 2 stolen bases on the year at college. Fastball outside. Coming right at you, Kevin Brugman, but he makes the catch. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count to Alec Rich. Lapham looking for the out. He will take a quick step and a throw over, and back safely is Owen.
That's a pretty good pickoff move there from Lapham.
It is a pretty good move. Has to watch out. Be sure that he is coming set there. Some umpires might make the quick trigger on the ball call. The 1-2. A slow looper and a smart play over at short, and that will turn the double play. What a great play by Tyler Long to let it drop and allow him to get the 6-3 double play to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no error, and nobody left on base, as now we head to the 5th. Still a 4-0 lead for the SwampBats.
Your next Ford is waiting at Monadnock Ford right now. Get a great offer like this on your next new Ford. See these offers and more at MonadnockFord.com. Monadnock Ford, home of the low price tire guarantee and your local Ford and used car retailer. Voted Keene's best.
Still for the SwampBats. Cole Stallings back out to the mound, working with that 4-run lead, but could have been more if it was not for the nice play at shortstop by Tyler Long to turn a slick-looking double play.
Yeah, it was a really smart play. Just did not have much time to think about it at all. He had a nice grin on his face as he came back into the dugout, high-fiving his teammates. Just a really smart play, and one that, even at this high level of baseball, a lot of times, a lot of shortstops, a lot of players would not have the presence of mind to let that ball just bounce in front of him and make that play.
Tyler Long, the junior from Mount St. Mary's out of Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Sure looked like he was a lot older than a junior there. A really veteran move, savvy play at shortstop. And he's known for his glove, but that was an excellent play now as he will look to come up. 3rd year due up for the Nighthawks. It's Garrett Pike, Pat D'Amico, and Tyler Long due up for Upper Valley. Trying to get something going. Only 1 hit on the scoreboard for Upper Valley. They've been held off the score column as well. The bottom of the lineup will look to come through against Cole Stallings. Some cracks in the armor might have showed in the top of the 4th, but he recovered smoothly to get a couple of quick outs and escape the jam.
Yeah, first 3 hitters all reached base. Only problem was Darius Myers, who had that hit, was quickly caught stealing before the 2 hit-by pitches in the top of the 4th.
Well, talking with head coach Matt Paws, he did say the Nighthawks were expected to be aggressive on the base paths. That can really make or break a team if they're caught stealing or if they take some free bases and advance into scoring position. Darius Myers was a victim there, cut down, and that kind of hindered the production of the Nighthawks in the 4th. But the bottom of the lineup now, Garrett Pike, the DH to the plate, trying to start a rally. He grounded out to short his first time. Cole Stallings, the right-hander on the first base side of the rubber. Back to work for Keene. First pitch up and away for ball 1.
Yeah, Stallings retired the first 8 that he faced, but 4 of the last 8 have reached.
Pitch is low. That is a new arm on the mound for Keene that is coming to work now. Get you some information on that after the following pitch.
Didn't catch that either.
2-0. Big swing and a miss. New arm is Tyler Tornberg, the senior from Bryan out of Chatham, New Jersey. 16 games for Bryant this season, a .663 ERA. Fastball up and away. Now the count is 3-1 to the first batter he's faced, and Garrett Pike.
Give you the final line on Cole Stallings in a moment.
He'll come after the 3-1 pitch. Here it is. Big swing and a miss. May have gotten a tip on it, but the count runs full.
4 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. A very good start for Cole Stallings.
Anytime you can say no runs allowed, it's a really solid opening day start. As called strike 3, says Chris Keene, a pitch at the knees. Only question was it inside or out? But he says it was right there. And Pike is down on strikes. First pitcher, or first batter that the new arm faces, Tornberg, strikes him out.
Pike tossed his bat away thinking it was ball 4, only to be told otherwise by Chris Keene, the home plate umpire, shaking his head as he headed back to the dugout.
So now in steps Pat D'Amico. First pitch, he holds up on the check and no go. It's ball 1.
Did appeal that down to first. Tim Barrett says no swing.
D'Amico out of Seton Hall. 0 for 1 on the day. 0-1, misses a tad low, maybe outside. As the lights have been switched on here at Alumni Field, playing some twilight baseball now. The 2-0. Fastball catches the outside edge for strike 1. D'Amico with the Pirates posted a .378 on base percentage. 6 foot tall, standing in the right-handed batter's box. 2-1, a hard line drive out to right. It is falling, but not fast enough. Delamalier out in right field makes the catch, and there's 2 down.
And a few hard hit balls now by the Nighthawks that have found Delamalier out there in right.
And he's fielded them both with ease, as there's quickly 2 down, and Tyler Long to the plate. Now the player from the Mount, looking to keep the inning alive for Upper Valley. Reached on a walk his first time. First pitch swinging, and a ground ball up the middle, but right there is Garrett Rice. He can't field it cleanly, and reaching is Tyler Long, and what looks to be the first error of the season.
Yeah, it should be an E4. Took an awkward hop by the looks of it. He got down on it. It went up off his chest and bounded beside him and too late to make the play. That'll be an E4.
So the inning extends now after the error. Dylan Palmer, top of the lineup, will come to the plate for the 3rd time now for the Nighthawks. Palmer so far a strikeout and grounded out into a fielder's choice. Fielder's choice ended the threat in the 3rd for Upper Valley. First pitch to Palmer is a called strike on the high outside corner. Palmer, saw a lot of him at Hofstra, as that's where I go to college as well. Had an excellent season, as that one soars to the backstop. Heading down to second is Tyler Long on what will be scored a wild pitch.
Yeah, a wild pitch for sure there. Jackson Owen would have needed a few extra feet to have any chance of reaching that one.
Palmer was second team All-CAA and also named to the All-Rookie team. Excellent career at Notre Dame High School as well in New Jersey, where he also played hockey, as maybe getting the sign straightened out here as Jackson Owen is going out to have a discussion with Tyler Tornberg with the runner on second, maybe trying to mix things up.
Yeah, you can imagine the signs probably aren't too complicated. On opening night, players only got here in Keene. The ones that got here earliest got here on Saturday, so it's a good point. With a runner on second, if you're just doing very simple signs, which you probably are, it's worth switching things up every now and then.
It was much the same case for the Nighthawks. First practice was on Monday. First pitch up and away, or rather the 1-1 up and away. It's now a 2-1 count to the Nighthawks second baseman. Palmer back into the left-handed batter's box. Stands 5'8", but has some pop. The 2-1. A off-speed pitch, dips just low. Now Palmer in command, 3-1. First base is open, but Darius Myers stands on deck. Has lone hit of the day for the Nighthawks.
Tornberg's got a sinker. 4-pitch mix.
The 3-1. Fastball hangs up And it's ball 4 and 2-1 now for Upper Valley with 2 down.
First walk allowed by Tornberg. Second walk earned by the Nighthawks.
So here's a Darius Myers now, 1 for 2. The single his last time. Also hit the ball hard into center field, but it was flagged down by Matt Brown-Earing. A Baltimore chopper right to first, and Braden Horton fields it and steps on the bag himself. The side is retired. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base for the Nighthawks. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Still a 4-0 lead for the home side. This is
At M&T Bank, we believe in the power of together. Together, we can help your business grow. Together, we can move communities forward while giving back. Together, we can help your family spend more time on what matters most. And together, we can achieve more than ever before.
for the SwampBats on the power of a grand slam by Garrett Rice. And that has been all the SwampBats have needed to hold on to the lead. They'll look to pat it here at the top of the lineup, coming up to face Jacob Lapham for the 3rd time today. Aiden Korn will lead things off. The DH is officially 1 for 1 as he watches the first pitch low for a ball. Singled his last time after walking and scoring back in the 1st. 1-0. A slow looper first base side, and it will fall foul. That's right towards where the stands end, and some fans have set up with bleachers and lawn chairs in danger of a hard-line drive over there. Some brave fans sitting there first base side. Same could be said third base side as well. The tall right-hander Lapham back on the rubber. And Korn is ready to go as well. The 1-1. It's in the dirt for ball 2. Aiden Korn has some previous summer ball experience with the Wausau Woodchucks of the Northwoods League, where he hit .357. Fastball outside. Finding some success both at the collegiate level and summer ball. Get him some looks from some Power 5 schools. It's a hard liner to third, fielded on a couple hops by D'Amico. Throw across, will get away, and will roll into out of play territory here. And advancing to second on the wild throw is Korn. Wait to see if they give him a base hit or not, but either way, he advances to second on the throwing error by Pat D'Amico.
Would think that's an E5 all the way. It's a nice snag by D'Amico, but would have had him with the throw. And an effort there by Bullard to make the pick, but he was just unable to.
So Matt Pause comes out of the dugout. He will take the ball from Jacob Lapham, and we'll get a new pitcher coming out of the Upper Valley bullpen. New pitcher coming on will be Jordan Goldman, a right-handed pitcher sitting 6'2", 170 pounds, out of Lemoyne College. The Dolphins of Lemoyne College had a pretty strong season.
hits, 4 runs, all earned on that grand slam, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts, and he's responsible for Korn at second base, but it would be an unearned run if it scores.
That it would be. It is a tentative final line as Goldman comes on now. Goldman also has some previous summer experience with the Syracuse Spartans of the New York Collegiate League. Spent last summer with the Spartans. Had a 3.81 ERA. So coming on here in a relief role, trying to hold things down here and keep the Nighthawks within one swing of the bat, as it would be should they get some base runners on. But that has been a problem for the Nighthawks offense, getting runners on, getting them over, and getting them in with the limited opportunities they've had so far in the ballgame.
Yeah, Cole Stallings shut them down for 4 innings. Scoreless top of the 5th just now from Tyler Tornberg, even though the Nighthawks were able to get 2 runners on. And now Keene trying to tack on some more to this 4-0 lead, which is not really that big of a lead. Still fairly early in the game, entering the second half, if you will, the bottom of the 5th. And from a home team perspective, you'd love to see some more runs put up on the board and really make this a bit more comfortable for the bullpen pitchers the rest of the way.
Especially if one pitcher has showcased some rust with the first game here on opening day. It's 4 leads run is by no means safe here in the NECBL. As the first pitcher, or first batter that the new arm Goldman will face will be the 2-hole hitter, Braden Horton. Horton today, 0 for 1. Reached on a walk his last time. Aggressive approach there, first pitch swinging. Comes up empty for strike 1. Lemoyne, a Division II school. So some love from all the levels of collegiate baseball here in the NECBL. That one misses low. 1-1 now the count to the Liberty product, Braden Horton. Long look in. Now he sets. No pitch clock here in the NECBL this year. The 1-1. A check swing on a pitch low. Did he hold up? Yes, he did, says third base umpire Connor Hoagland. The count is now 3-1 to the first baseman, Horton. Once again, if you're just joining us, a 4-0 score line. Thanks to a grand slam in the first inning by the returner Garrett Rice for the Keene SwampBats. The 2-1. A swing and a miss. Comes up empty. Count now evens. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner on second base after reaching on an error is leadoff batter Aiden Korn. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Goldman gets the punch out on the first batter he faces, and a much needed out there for the Upper Valley Nighthawks. So 1 down and a runner on and scoring position for Blake DeLamelure. DeLamelure is 0 for 1 officially with a hit by pitch and a strikeout. First pitch he sees is in the dirt for a ball. The new arm for Upper Valley, Goldman, 46 strikeouts through 53 1/3 at Lemoyne. So not the biggest strikeout arm, but he can get some if he is looking for them. 1-0. It's grounded right back up the middle. Over to field is a shortstop long. The throw is in time for the out, but the runner aggressively moves up to third. He got a good read, and Korn is now 90 feet away from scoring. But they'll need a base hit or some other method of the batter reaching with 2 down to plate that run. And Matt Brown-Earing will try to do it.
Yeah, typically not a very high reward play to run from second to third there with 2 outs, but that ball was hit slowly, and Korn, realizing that, did a good piece of base running to advance, and the ball hit to the left side.
First pitch swinging is Brown Airing and comes up empty for strike 1. Brown Airing on the day, 0 for 1. Did reach on a walk and score. That was back in the first. The 0-1, that's down low, a ball and a strike. Garrett Rice, the home run hero, is on deck if Brown Airing can reach. Goldman sets. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss on the fastball. He laid on it. Now a 1-2 count to the SwampBats center fielder. Once again, Aiden Korn stands on third. He would be the 5th run of the ball game. 1-2 count with 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch, low for ball 2. Wearing number 33, Brown Airing, back into the batter's box. Right on right matchup. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch, a foul ball, reached out at that one to stay alive. As the sky getting considerably darker here as we reach the 8 o'clock hour here on the East Coast. Here comes the 2-2. Foul ball popped up. Brugman gives it a look, but it will reach the stands. And it's another foul ball, and we'll stay again. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Garrett Rice on deck, hoping for a chance here in the home 5th.
Jordan Goldman looking to put up a 0 in his first inning of work. Another 2-2. Called! Strike 3, says Chris Keene.
That looked a little bit high.
A little bit high, a little bit outside, but Goldman will take it. He strands runner on third, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left. We head to the 6th. Still a 4-0 ball game.
At Keene State College, life is an adventure. You'll forge your path forward. As an owl, you'll take on challenges in the classroom, field, court, or track. Every worthwhile adventure has its share of blood, sweat, and tears. It takes hard work and dedication. No owl flies alone on their journey at Keene State. Teammates, coaches, professors, alumni, and fellow owls are with you along the way. They lift you up as you continue forward. When you're part of Owl Nation, you become the person you truly want to be.
Trying to hold on to this 4-0 lead as a PT Cruiser zips around. The fans are pelting it with tennis balls. You gotta love the promotions that go on here at the NECBL.
Oh yeah, we've got some good ones here at Alumni Field for sure. You're aiming for that driver's side window. If you're trying to throw one of those tennis balls in there. And
that reminds me of a major league moment. I think it was A.J. Burnett, who was warming up for the Florida Marlins back in the day, and while a pitch nearly decapitated Billy the Marlin when he was warming up back at what is now the Miami Dolphins Stadium, Hard Rock Stadium, but used to be the home of the Miami Marlins as well.
I didn't know that. The Marlins used to play at Hard Rock Stadium.
That's right. Of course, it was back in the day when it was not nearly as glamorous as it is now. But in the days before Marlins Park existed, the Dolphins and the Marlins shared a home, as the marine creatures are now separate, as attention turns back to the diamond here at Alumni Field. We head to the 6th inning, still a 4-0 lead for the SwampBats over the Upper Valley Nighthawks. Ian Binky and Jonah White with you here. Ryan Cesarini leads things off for the Nighthawks. Trying to get something going. Only one hit on the board, no runs. First pitch to Cesarini, upstairs for a ball. Cesarini on the day, 0 for 1. Did reach as part of back-to-back hit by pitches allowed by Cole Stallings in the 4th. 1-0, that one down and in. Flinches out of the way, and now he's ahead 2-0. Cesarini led the way in the A-10 with a .392 batting average. High and away, 3-0. Now, how aggressive are you here if you're Ryan Cesarini at the plate?
Really, probably not so aggressive, I would say, here in the 6th inning, now by 4 runs.
Nighthawks looking for base runners. The 3-0. Up and away, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk leads things off here for the Nighthawks in the 6th.
Second walk allowed by Tornberg. So SwampBats lead at 4-0 here in the 6th.
Runner on now for the catcher, Kevin Brugman. Brugman was also hit by a pitch in the 4th. He's also struck out today, officially 0 for 1. Brugman, a preseason All-CAA pick with the Pride. First pitch, he twists out of the way, misses inside for ball 1. Tornberg here, a little bit of issues finding the zone to lead off the 6th. The 1-0. Misses low. So 6 straight balls to start things off here in the 6th for the SwampBat pitcher.
Somebody tossing over there in the SwampBat bullpen down the right field line. It's a left-hand pitcher.
2-0 is low and away. If it's a left-handed pitcher, you imagine it would be Taylor. Rather, excuse me. There is a couple of left-handed pitchers in the pen for the SwampBats.
Yeah, it could be one of 4.
That's in there for a called strike.
Big strike there for Tornberg, up by 4 runs. That's really all you got to do at this moment is just throw strikes.
Quick look over at first. The ball gets away. Tracking it down is Horton. The throw to second will not be in time now to get away into left field. They could have a play at third, but wisely holding on to it is Cesarini. Now that's one way to get a runner into scoring position. A couple of wild throws by the SwampBats moves the runner over from first to third in Cesarini, and now he's 90 feet away from scoring the first run of the game for the Nighthawks.
Should be E1, E3 on a couple of errant throws. Both just going under the glove of their intended target.
Now a fly ball could play to run off the bat of Kevin Brugman. First pitch, or rather the first pitch after the errors is fouled off, and now the count runs full, 3-2.
The only SwampBat who did much right on that play was the left fielder, Alec Rich, by not throwing to third.
Yeah, he could have taken the risk, but probably a smart play to hold on to that ball. The 3-2 is rolled over to second. This will score the run. The throw to first is not in time. Great hustle from Kevin Brugman. The catcher legs out an infield hit as Garrett Rice couldn't fire the throw in time. The run will score on an infield single by Kevin Brugman.
I think Rice just didn't realize the speed or the hustle of Brugman down the line. Picked it up through to first, and yeah, credit Brugman. Hustling on that infield single, and he'll get an RBI as well.
Well, Brugman's 60 time won't pop off the page, but when your eyes light up on a chance to get an RBI and a base hit,
Let's see
He'll
too
certainly
many
take it.
infield singles by the catcher to second base.
And meanwhile, Steve Harrington sends one out to right, and it's gone! Steve Harrington blasts off to one of the deepest parts of the yard in right field, and in the blink of an eye, it's a one-run ball game.
He got a hold of that one to right. Lemelier trying to climb the wall, but there was no reaching that one. Out to straightaway right, and what do you know? It's a 4-3 ball game here in the 6th.
You said it, that 4-run lead was not going to be safe by any means for the SwampBats. And in the matter of 3 batters, it's been nearly turned on its head. It's a one-run ball game here in Keene. First pitch to Jake Bullard is outside, or rather in the zone. And the measurements on that home run, 342 feet and 88 miles per hour off the bat of Steve Harrington. As fastball zips over the head of Jake Bullard. Look out. He gets out of the way, and it's now a ball and a strike to the first baseman. So for Tornberg now, he just has to settle in. Had some command issues, but then Harrington blasts off. How do you settle back in? 1-1. That's low and away, ball 2.
And nobody out here in the 6th inning. You just got to keep in mind, he still got the lead. Still a chance to preserve the lead, but no one out here in the 6th.
Pitch is outside. It's now 3-1 the count. So Bullard here has some power. See if he gets one he likes. The 3-1. He does, but fouls it straight back, and the count is now full. Bullard now represents the tying run for the Nighthawks after they were held off the board for the first 5 innings of this one. Called strike 3 on a fastball at the knees. Bullard tried to sell it, tossed the bat away, but he has to pick it up on his way back to the dugout for the first out of the inning.
Yeah,
much needed strikeout.
Yeah, that's huge for Tornberg. Huge for the SwampBats to get that first out here in the top of the 6th. Still leading 4-3. And Sean McKenna's out to make a pitching change for Keene. Yeah, big call there by Chris Kane. You like
new pitcher here for the SwampBats.
Yeah, it's a left-handed pitcher, and when he follows through, hopefully get a read on his uniform number. I can tell you that is number 8, Caden Campbell. A left-hand pitcher, 6'1", 210, out of the University of Louisville. He's a sophomore there from Fairfield, Ohio. The 18th Louisville player to come to the Keene SwampBats. Campbell dominates lefties. This season at Louisville, he went 2-1 with a 5.12 ERA in 23 appearances. Got 2 saves through 19 1/3 innings, giving up 17 hits, 12 runs, 11 earned. He walked 8 and struck out 25. Opponents had a .233 batting average against him. And I'll tell you one other thing about Caden Campbell. His favorite movie is what is, in my opinion, an all-time classic, The Bad News Bears.
I have to go with you there. It's definitely one of the top baseball movies out there. as that was a discussion among the Nighthawks interns at dinner just the other night on what were their favorite sports and baseball-specific movies. What would be your pick, Jonah?
Well, sports or baseball? For going sports, I'm going to have to say Cool Runnings.
Okay.
Baseball, I would go with the Bad News Bears.
Two very good picks there. For baseball, I'll have to go with Major League. I think Bad News Bears is a close runner-up, as the first batter he faces, Garrett Pike, will take a fastball low and away. For sports movies, I have to go Slapshot, the classic hockey movie.
I have to confess, I've never seen it.
The 1-0. That's at the knees, a called strike. If you're a hockey fan, it's a must-watch, as the movie just got added to Netflix the other day.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Here's the 1-1 count to Pike. He's out in front of the speed pitch, but it's called a strike. He held back on the swing, but Chris Keene says it was at the knees anyways.
I think Chris has called a pretty good game. He's had a few standard body language complaints from players, but also cut him some slack as that 1-2 is low. If I was hit with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball in the wrist, probably feel like I deserve some slack as well.
Absolutely. But still, a very strong night behind the plate. It's a consistent night, all you can ask for. The 2-2 and strong wrists at the plate from Pike to hold off. He was fooled by the breaking ball, but laid off it as it fell in the dirt. The count is now run full. Here's the payoff from Campbell to Pike. Left-on-left matchup. The pitch. It's ball 4, just missed low. Great eye from Pike to work his way on. And the first batter that Campbell faces reaches on a walk.
It did look low. Pike simultaneously tried to sell it by throwing the bat away and looked at the home plate umpire to make sure.
So traffic on the base paths now, as a tying run has reached now for Upper Valley, as Pat D'Amico steps into the right-handed batter's box. First pitch bounces, and it gets away. Down to second and into scoring position is Garrett Pike. After the wild pitch will move him there.
That's the tying run with the Keene SwampBats having a 4-3 lead now in the top of the 6th.
Important wild pitch now. That's now 180 feet away from tying this one, our Upper Valley. D'Amico is 0 for 2 as Jackson Owen will come out, and once again, as a runner reaches scoring position and reaches second base, a clear view of the signs. You mentioned the signs are probably pretty simplistic when there's not that runner out there with a clear view of them. Mix things up now with the runner Pike reaching scoring position.
Give you the final line on Tyler Tornberg. He went an inning in the third, giving up 2 hits and 3 runs, all earned despite the double throwing error on the pickoff because it didn't cost the SwampBats an out, and there was a home run after that. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. We'll get a no decision. The SwampBats still up 4-3.
The 1-0, low for ball 2. The Nighthawks dugout, we get a clear earshot of them here as they're right below us. They're making some noise, trying to hope to keep this inning going, keep this rally going. As they started it down 4-0, they're now within a run. Action continuing in the SwampBat bullpen as a pitch misses low. 3-0 now the count as a right-hander getting loose.
Caden Campbell, hard thrower, 91 from the left side, the average fastball velocity. Also throws a slider and a changeup.
We'll see what he goes to here, down 3-0. The pitch. That's right down Highway 9 for strike 1.
Figure you might have the green light there with the tying run at second base.
And with the 9-hole hitter due up. But he watches it go by. See if he gets the green light now at the 3-1 count. The delivery from Campbell. That's at the knees for a strike. He thought about swinging but held back.
Yeah, he didn't swing, but it did look like a strike.
Maybe it wasn't one that he really liked the location of, but now he has to be more aggressive with the count running full. Runner on second is Pike. The payoff from Campbell. That's grounded to first. A tough play on the hop for Horton, rather. He recovers and steps on the bag himself. There's now 2 down with the runner Pike moving to third. Tyler Long will try to drive him in.
Yeah, that's a smart play there by Braden Horton. And you have the luxury of doing that at first base. Wait for the long hop. You read the hop very well on a hard hit chopper. Waited for the long hop, got it. Stepped on the bag easily. Obviously, you can do that at first base. You can't really do that at any other position.
First pitch to Tyler Long, late on a fastball for strike 1. Long today, 0 for 1, but has reached twice. Once on a walk and once on an error. Base hit would tie this ball game. Campbell looking to keep the lead for Keene. The 0-1. Fastball, good eye by the batter Long. Looked good, but maybe a tad high. One ball and 1 strike to the Nighthawks shortstop. The pitch to Long. Inside. Height looked good. And again, from our broadcast standpoint, hard to tell in or out, but it certainly looked like Long had to get his knees out of the way.
Yeah, it was in, it wasn't out. But, yeah, like you said, it's very hard for us to tell inside, outside from where we are.
The 2-1. Breaking ball. That one curves over the plate for a strike.
Good pitch.
Very good pitch from Campbell. Now the count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with the tying run at third. Campbell sets at the belt. The southpaw fires. A breaking ball called strike 3. A beauty of a pitch to strand the tying run at third. For the Nighthawks, though, they get 3 runs on 2 hits. There were 2 errors committed by the SwampBats, and there was 1 runner left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It's now a 4-3 lead for the SwampBats. This is NECBL Baseball on New Oldies 104.1. Opening day in the NECBL for these 2 ball clubs as Jordan Goldman returns to the mound for Upper Valley, and he will face Garrett Rice up first. Rice followed by Chula Hall and Cordova, but Rice, his big bat, proving to be the difference in this one to this point. His grand slam in the first has given the SwampBats a lead they've held on to since that point. First pitch misses low for a ball. The Nighthawks, though, bit into a little bit in the top of the 6th. They got 3. They're now within a run. Goldman tasked with keeping it there. 1-0 at the knees for a called strike. Rice, following that home run, was hit by a pitch. So officially 1 for 1. And he's hit with that one, and the deflection will also get a piece of home plate umpire Chris Keene, and he's just had a tough day back there. As he's shaking out his right hand now. So, you want to be a whole plate umpire. It's a tough one back there for Chris Keene. As he's now down on a knee. Just what a tough day for Keene. He cannot catch a break. Caught a fastball off the left wrist. And now that time he catches a deflected hit by pitch. Looked like a fastball from Jordan Goldman off the right wrist. As he's now being attended to by the athletic training staff of the Keene SwampBats. The Keene manager and head coach Sean McKenna over there as well, attending to the home plate umpire. As Garrett Rice stands on first after the hit by pitch, his second time of the game that he's been hit by a pitch, second pitcher that has plunked him. Just tough luck behind the plate tonight for Chris Keene.
Yeah, it's a second hit by pitch for the batter and a second hit by pitch for the umpire.
Yeah, for real. Not often that you say that.
Yeah, Chris Keene is definitely earning his paycheck tonight.
Next time, get him a full suit of armor when he's behind home plate.
You really do feel for the umpire. It's not a glamorous job, but it's a really important job. And nights like this can be a painful job.
Quick look around the NECBL. Their games in action. The bottom of the fifth in Danbury. Ocean State has played from behind. They've tied it up. It's now a 5-5 ball game between the Westerners and the Waves.
Well, 6-5.
6-5 now, as your scoreboard's a little bit ahead of mine. 6-5 Danbury, they've jumped back out ahead. The Vermont Mountaineers are ahead of the Mystic Schooners, 4-1. They're on the road in Mystic. The Sharks of Martha's Vineyard ahead of the North Shore Navigators, 6-4. And the Newport Gulls are up on the Bristol Blues, 2-0. And have to look for an update on the North Adams game. Not getting any reports of a score or any progress in that game.
Yeah, don't know what's going on there.
Well, with the conditions of the smoke from Nova Scotia, North Adams could be getting some of that, some of those poor air quality conditions. So I know the Yankees game was postponed. The independent Long Island Ducks game was also postponed.
Game is happening there. 6-4 for the Steeple Cats in the 6th inning at the last update.
So Chris Keene now getting some applause. He's to his feet, flexing out his right hand. The training staff and the medical staff leaving the field. He's talking to his fellow umpires, Connor Hoagland and Tim Barrett now.
He's saying, this is the last time I'm doing home plate for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think he's earned a couple of days off after this one. As Jordan Goldman gets his arm back loosened up, he's going to, or the home plate umpire Keene has the mask in his left hand, and he looks like he's ready to go. Hats off to you, sir.
Yes, absolutely.
And now for Goldman, as the focus turns back to the pitcher's mound, it's important that he settles in. The last time this happened, which it doesn't happen often, it's odd that it's happened twice in this ball game. Jacob Lapham was had some struggles getting back in the strike zone, and then when he did, Garrett Rice blasted off deep to left field to give the SwampBats a 4-0 lead, as Trey Shula Hall will step into the batter's box. He's 0 for 2 today, but Goldman has to stay in the strike zone here for Upper Valley.
Yeah, absolutely. Your offense just got your team back in the game. 4-3 from 4-0. Now he's got to keep it at 4-3.
That leadoff free pass could loom large. First pitch to Chula Hall. A check swing, and he couldn't hold up far enough. The appeal down to Tim Barrett. He says he went. So no 1 count now to the SwampBat third baseman.
That's a bit of a gift there from Chula Hall. It was a good breaking ball, but even still, first pitch in the dirt. I don't want to give the pitcher a strike.
The 0-1. Fastball misses low.
That's a good take after going after the first one.
That was good pitch calling as well from Kevin Brugman behind home plate. Said if he offered low, why not go back to it? See where they go 1-1. The pitch. It's chopped over to third. It will roll foul. It might have been off of Chula Hall in the batter's box.
There's no indication that it was off Chula Hall in the batter's box. Chris Keene didn't point there. Chula Hall didn't run, but the home plate umpire, Chris Keene, who would have that call, went out to look down the line and then called it foul as it was touched foul by D'Amico.
So ahead in the count is Goldman, 1-2. He takes a look over at first and back safely is Garrett Rice. Chula Hall has grounded into a double play today. It was of the around the horn variety, 5-4-3. Fights one off the hands. The count remains 1-2.
Yeah, good job there by Chula Hall to fight that off. Like you said, good pitch in on the hands. Stays alive.
Chula Hall steps back in, right on right matchup. The 1-2. That just misses outside, 2-2.
It is funny from this vantage point. That was definitely an outside pitch, but we're seeing it come in. It looks like it's right at the belt.
Some good movement on that pitch from Jordan Goldman. Looking for a ground ball or a punch out, you'd have to imagine. The 2-2. High and away, and now the count runs full. Good fight back from Chula Hall. Gets this count full.
Yeah, Brugman getting out of his stance there, just threatening a snap throw to let Garrett Rice know that he knows he's there ahead of this 3-2 pitch.
Seventh pitch to the at-bat on its way. Here it is. It's up and in, for ball 4. Back-to-back free passes, one hit by pitch and one walk issued by Jordan Goldman. And now 2-1. Nobody out for Ramses Cordoba.
Good at bat by Chula Hall after going after the first one out of the strike zone. Patient the rest of the way. A couple of close pitches. And SwampBats looking to set the table here after seeing their lead cut from 4-0 to 4-3 in the top half of the 6th.
SwampBats definitely looking for a response after the home run by Steve Harrington and the RBI single by Kevin Brugman before him. The Hofstra boys got it to a 1-run game. Showing bunt and chopping this one foul is Cordoba.
Corners pinched way in. Bullard from first and D'Amico from third.
But Cordoba definitely was bunting with a sacrifice in mind. Was showing bunt way before Goldman even started his delivery. So now that he showed bunt, does he keep it on here?
Keep the corners pinched in. With Rice at second, Chula Hall at first, and nobody out.
D'Amico and Bullard weigh in at the corners for the Upper Valley Nighthawks. Popped up, chance for Brugman, and a diving play, but he can't quite hold on to it.
Good effort there by Brugman. Thought for a moment he was going to get there. Might have even gone off his glove as he laid out for that. Got rid of the mask. And just couldn't come up with it. The count is 0-2.
A sprawling attempt over there in foul territory. As you said, plenty of foul territory here at Alumni Field, but just enough here to elude the reach of Kevin Brugman. A 2-strike count, bunt likely off for Cordoba. The pitch. Foul ball straight back. Bunt is off. He is swinging away.
So there's something about the bunt here, and you tell me what you think, but you know, people say it's a lost art, and I really think that's true, especially at the college level. You know, in summer ball, I've seen a lot of unsuccessful bunts the last couple of years
The 0-2, a check swing, and making the call himself is Chris Keene. He went for strike 3, and a big out here as there's one down. Runners remain at first and second. Third strikeout for Goldman.
Of course, in college, you use aluminum bats. It's much harder to deaden the ball, the bunt, especially in a lot of high-scoring games in NCAA. Bunting is not that much of a thing, but in summer ball with the wood bats, it becomes much more useful. But a lot of times, it's not that easy.
First pitch is a foul ball from Jackson Owen for strike 1. I definitely agree with you. If you watch batting practice, a lot of teams, I'd say about 95% of them, still start with a couple of bunts in the batting cages. But that's really all the practice they get with bunt plays. You don't really see teams practicing the bunt, and especially your college summer ball, the only practices you get are at the beginning of the season, as Owen is clipped by the pitch, and that will load the bases.
That is the 4th time a SwampBat has been hit by a pitch. Nighthawk pitchers have hit people 6 times. 4 times it's been the SwampBat hitters, and 2 times it's been the umpire.
Well, they got a 2-for-1 earlier,
that's
too.
True.
Chad Sturgeon out to the pitcher's mound. He'll bring the whole infield in. Not only talking with his pitcher, Goldman, but also discussing strategy on where they're going to go with the baseball should each fielder get it. The base is loaded and only one down for the 9-hole hitter, Alec Rich.
And he did hit into a double play his last time. That's obviously the idea for the Nighthawks here.
And that was the nice play by Tyler Long to let it drop in front of him to turn the double play himself unassisted at second before throwing to first to Jake Bullard covering the bag.
After a 3-run top of the 6th, made it 4-3. The SwampBats threatened to open the game back up a little bit. The base is loaded and 1 out in the bottom of the 6th.
Corners in, middle shaded towards up the middle as the first pitch fouled straight back by Alec Rich. Mentioned that double play earlier. He's also struck out 0 for 2. A fly ball. Has to get deep enough for sure. Could give it another run, and a big swing and a miss. Late on the fastball was Rich, and now Goldman ahead and in charge, 0-2, but he has to finish this out.
That's a good position if you're Goldman. Try and really induce a ground ball. Give you a change-up low.
Here's the pitch. A pop-up on the infield. This would do the trick over in foul territory's Bullard, and that is a big, big second out for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, no infield fly rule there because it's a foul ball. Bullard putting it away, and that's a massive out. And now a really big at-bat coming up for Aiden Korn, who has walked, scored, singled, and reached down an error.
He's not been retired, even though he's only officially 1 for 2 on the day. Looking to find a way on. With the bases juiced and 2 down. The first pitch. That's inside. Good thing he held off on the swing. That could have clipped him if he followed through, and it would have been a strike.
Yeah. He definitely wanted to swing at it. And a good decision not to.
Right-handed Goldman sets and fires. That's high for ball 2. A free pass would also score a run with the bases loaded. And a 4th free pass in the inning is not what Goldman is looking for. Hit by pitch, a walk, a strikeout, hit by pitch, and a pop-out is how he's gotten here. That's inside, 3-0. Now, how many times do you take if you're Aiden Korn?
I'm going to say at least 1, for sure, even if it's right down the middle. You would think.
You would think is the case, but you never know. If it's one he likes, could get the green light. The 3-0. That's not close. Inside for ball 4. A run will score. It's now a 5-3 SwampBat lead.
Second walk of the inning in addition to the 2 hit batsmen. A run for Keene without benefit of a hit and an RBI for Aiden Korn. Rice comes in to score from third. Shula Hall moves to third, and Owen moves to second.
And that will spell the end of the day for Jordan Goldman. Matt Paws out of the dugout, first-year manager here in Upper Valley. Longtime batting coach is now the head dog. I think what they're known for last year, they played a team of YouTubers in a exhibition match.
Interesting.
I don't think there was an official line score of that one, so I'm not sure if Simonello pitched.
Did they ever play the Savannah Bananas?
No, it's a different league, unfortunately. But the Burlington Sock Puppets did make their waves on social media. I know
imagine
a couple of notable sports YouTubers. 5 Points Vids was on that team, among other notable YouTubers. Big Steelers fan Schlosser was on that team as well. It was a resounding win for the Sock Puppets.
I was going to ask.
Yes, it was not a close affair. I think the team of YouTubers celebrated when they made contact. That's how it went. For the upstart underdog, shall we say.
I always wonder what would happen if a team full of guys like you and me would play a team full of guys like this.
I think that would be the last time I would show my face around a baseball diamond for quite a while. There's been talk around the Upper Valley interns about getting an intern game going, but that would be largely interns on interns.
We should do an inter-team intern.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
Get it like an intramural league going.
Yeah.
Here. That would be something we could do. But I think if we lace them up against a team of NECBL players, I think it wouldn't be any kind of competition.
It would be tough.
It's like I did at least play someone recently. Last time I played was my senior year of high school
Very
for
nice.
a rec team. But
yeah, I'm right there with you.
But I know a lot of the
rec league.
Yeah, I know a lot of the players, or a lot of the interns rather, had not played in quite a long time. T-ball for some of the interns here.
Yeah, we were thinking intern wiffle ball at some point.
There you go. As Braden Horton will be the first batter that Simonello will face.
2 outs, bases loaded.
What a spot here. As look out. Hot chin music there for the first pitch by Simonello. It's ball 1.
Could have taken one off the chin, got an RBI there.
That's not exactly one that you want to take, though.
Don't really blame him for getting out of the way.
As Brugman and Simonello want to get on the same page here.
Yeah, I think we'll see a good amount of this over the first few days, first week of the season, which is totally understandable. And probably as battery mates get to know each other more as we go on later in the season, a little bit more smooth.
And you don't have to worry about exhausting your mound visits doing it as well. Not a concern here in the NECBL, just pure old-fashioned baseball. No pitch clock. None of the new rules. 1-0. That's over the heart of the plate for strike 1.
I'd like to see the NECBL get rid of the DH.
You want to go real old-fashioned.
Oh, yeah. It's 5-3 SwampBats here in the bottom of the 6th.
The 1-1. Missing the outside edge for ball 2. Simonello coming out, throwing some heat. Significant upgrade in velocity. At least from Goldman, who will close the book on following this inning or if the bases are cleared. 2-1, up and away, ball 3. As Goldman left responsible for each of the runners on base. Bases loaded, 3 balls, 1 strike is the count to Braden Horton with 2 down. The pitch, fouled back. Brugman gives a point out towards Simonello. He liked that pitch as the count runs full.
Merry-go-round.
Runners will be moving with the delivery from the new arm, Matthew Simonello. Bases loaded, full count, 2 down. Bottom of the 6th, the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Simonello escapes the jam with only 1 run crossing the plate. The line score in the inning, 1 run on no hits. There were no errors and 3 left on base. We head to the 7th. It's a 5-3 Keene lead. This is NECBL Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL Network.
Watch me do my thing. I said, watch me do my shake, shake. Woo! Watch me do my thing. I said, watch me do my shake, shake.
Binky and Jonah White with you as time running out for the Nighthawks, trying to keep their perfect record in opening day matchups against the SwampBats alive. And here to take you the rest of the way, here is Jonah White.
Thanks so much, Ian. 5-3 SwampBats as we get ready to start the top of the 7th. Here's the box score for you. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and 6 left on base for the visiting Upper Valley Nighthawks. 5 runs on 3 hits, 3 errors, and 6 men left on base for the host Keene SwampBats. Keene scored 4 runs in the first inning on a grand slam by Garrett Rice. The next runs were scored in the top of the 6th. An RBI infield hit by Kevin Brugman for Upper Valley, followed by a 2-run home run by Steve Harrington to make it a 4-3 game. Hayden Corges drew an RBI walk in the bottom of the 6th to make it 5-3 SwampBats. Caden Campbell got the last 2 outs of the top of the 6th. He's back on for the 7th for the SwampBats. Lefty on lefty here. The batter will be Dylan Palmer as Upper Valley begins its 4th time around the order. And the first pitch is a breaking ball low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Top of the order, Palmer, Myers, and Cesarini. The top of the 7th for Upper Valley. A 1-0 is low, 2 balls and no strikes. Midfield straight up. Chula Hall's pinched in on the grass at third. In case of the bunt for a hit from Palmer, 2-0 is on the outside corner at the knees. A fastball, 2 balls and a strike. Outfield straight away as day turns tonight here in New Hampshire. The 2-1. A little bit low. 3 balls and a strike.
And you mentioned the third baseman, Chula Hall, playing way in. Dylan Palmer has some unreal speed, and especially in that left-handed batter's box, drag bunt could be in play.
Palmer 0 for 2. He walked his last time up, though. Here's the 3-1. Fastball in there. Strike 2. Myers on deck is 1 for 3. Upper Valley didn't get its first hit until the 4th inning in this game. Winds up in the 3-2. Taken low, ball 4. A leadoff walk for Dylan Palmer. Here in the top of the 7th, the second walk allowed by Caden Campbell. Plenty of walks in this game.
Well, that tends to happen early on in the summer season. Pitchers shake some rust off, as are the hitters. But they wait things out. They could get some free passes early on.
Here's Myers, flied out, singled, and been caught stealing. Grounded out at first his last time up. SwampBats could use a ground ball here. Fastball, strike on the inside corner to the right-hand batter, 0-1. Campbell now working out of the stretch. The lefty from the third base side looks in, hangs his left arm, now comes set at the belt. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball bounces out of the glove. It's a ball low. Runner goes. Throw to second is too late. Got away from the shortstop, second baseman Rice covering. Backed up by Cordova. And not sure what they'll score that.
It has to be a pass ball. It bounced off the catcher's mitt. And Palmer got a really good read and was able to get the jump and head to second.
It wasn't off with a pitch, but he did get a really good jump. So, yeah, it should be a pass ball. You're right. As the 1-1 misses in the dirt, and it's 2 balls and a strike. And now it's Caden Campbell struggling a bit with his command. Here facing the top of the order for Upper Valley in the 7th. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Low. 3 balls and a strike.
Excuse me, it's tentatively been scored a wild pitch. Not exactly sure how. It did bounce out of the catcher's mitt, but...
Yeah, that's... They say wild pitch, that's what it is, but that was a pass ball. 3-1. Fly toward right. That's going to slice foul.
It even reached the point where the pitcher Campbell was pointing towards the right field line. He wanted that to drop down. Did not want the speedy Palmer scoring. As just behind that one was Myers. Has to choke up now with a full count.
Runner at second. Nobody out. Top of the 7th inning. It's 5-3 SwampBats. Square stance for the batter Myers. Awaiting the payoff pitch from Caden Campbell. Here it comes. Foul back to the screen. He just caught up to the fastball.
It's a good mix from Campbell. He got him behind on the last pitch and then goes to the fastball to speed up that bat. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to the off speed and keep Myers on his toes. At the very least, set him up for another pitch.
And he's a hard thrower. Average fastball velocity 91 from the left side. That's pretty steep. On 3-2, Myers takes outside and high, ball 4, 2 on and nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning for the Upper Valley Nighthawks.
Well, that's a start you're looking for, as that'll bring a coach out to the mound for Keene. You get 2 free passes in a row and kind of going blow for blow after the SwampBats were able to get a run last half inning without getting a hit on the board. As looking out at the scoreboard, you have 3 hits for each side, but 8 runs combined on the board. More runs in this ballgame than hits. So
Upper Valley has drawn 6 walks and been hit by 2 pitches, so 8 free passes for the visitors. The SwampBats have drawn 4 walks and been hit by 4 pitches. So 8 free passes either side, 3 hits either side.
Yeah, now it comes to timely hitting now. You got the free passes, you got the runners on base, and now for Upper Valley, you need that one big hit to get you right back in this one.
Cesarini steps in. He's a left-hand batter with 2 on and nobody out. First pitch in there, strike 1. Cesarini fouled out in the first, hit by a pitch in the 4th, walked and scored in the 6th. Been on base twice. The 0-1, left on left. Gets away from the catcher, Owen. Bounds toward the first base dugout, and both runners move up. That might have been a cross-up.
It looked like a cross-up as the pitch really absolutely handcuffed the catcher, Owen, as he's now going out to talk with Campbell.
That's exactly right. It handcuffed him right on the wrist area.
It looked like he was about to go down for a block, expecting a breaking ball, but instead got the fastball, and it just really got him on the wrist there. Thankfully, he has a wrist guard protector there. Otherwise, he'd be in the same boat with home plate umpire today, Chris Keene.
That is huge. It moves the tying runs into scoring position with nobody out. Third baseman Shula Hall now in at the edge of the grass. Everybody else is back. They will trade a run for an out. Campbell, but 1-1. Swing and a miss. He fooled him with a breaking ball. Big strike, too. Now you got to get the strikeout if you're Caden Campbell. The tying runs on second and third in a 5-3 lead. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th. The set. The kick of the 1-2. Fastball at that easy. Struck him out looking. Big strikeout for Caden Campbell, his second. And there's 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning.
Well, they call the double play a pitcher's best friend, but that one's up there as well. The much-needed strikeout for Caden Campbell, and he's in a much better position now with 1 down.
Here's the cleanup batter, Kevin Brugman. He has struck out, been hit by a pitch, and singled and scored. 1 out of 2. RBI single as well as last time up on the infield. It was a hustle single on a ground ball to second base. First pitch to the right-hand batter, swung on and missed. No balls and a strike.
Brugman was trying to give his team the lead with 1 swing of the bat.
He was. Horton is even with the bag, the first baseman, well off the line. Shula Hall just behind the bag at third. Middle infielders are back. The 0-1. Slider just missed. Ball and a strike.
Going back a little bit, the pitch that allowed Myers and Palmer to advance to second and third is officially a pass ball.
1-1. In the dirt. Stopped by Owen. 2 balls and a strike. So 2 walks, 1 wild pitch, 1 pass ball. There are runners at second and third with 1 out. SwampBats hanging on to a 5-3 lead in the 7th. Upper Valley could tie the game with a base hit. 2-1 to Brugman. In there. Strike 2 called.
Brugman is a disbeliever there, asking Chris Keene where that pitch was, but looked good from here. Now he's in a 2-strike count. Anything close has to look good.
Big 2-2 with runners at second and third. Campbell, rocking the pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out with a fastball. Second big strikeout with runners on second and third for Caden Campbell. And now he's got a chance to get out of it. But he's facing Steve Harrington, who knocked one over the right field fences last time up.
That he is, but favorable matchup for Campbell, left on left here. And you have to imagine that he has the upper edge and wants to use it in this at-bat.
Open stance for Harrington. First pitch, breaking ball in there, strike 1. First pitch slider there out of the hand of Campbell. Left arm hanging by his side. Glove tucked in near his hip. Now he sets at the belt. 0-1. Fastball on the inside corner, strike 2.
He's really roared back after those couple of free passes to lead off the inning. Now in command of the count. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes right at the hitter Harrington.
0 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 in scoring position. 2-run lead for the SwampBats, and he steps off. Now he steps back on. Looks in. He's got one he likes. Set. The 0-2. Breaking ball pulled foul.
Harrington sitting fastball, but was able to hold back just enough to get a piece of that breaking ball well out in front. Just rolled it foul first base side, but important as he stays alive.
0-2, they'll do it again. Obviously want to be careful of a wild pitch in this situation. 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a fastball. Caden Campbell strikes out the side after the tying runs were in scoring position with nobody out. What a job by the Louisville Cardinal. No runs, no hits, no errors, a pass ball, and 2 left in scoring position.
First thing Bruce felt was quality, the consistency, knowing that when I take them out, they're going to be the same every time. And the second was to be able to see kids all over the country wearing the gloves that I designed. That's one of the coolest parts of this.
Hello, Sylvie, pitcher for Upper Valley, faces Blake Talamalier. And Blake takes the ball, 1-0. Talamalier 0 for 2, hit by a pitch and scored in the first inning. He grounded out to shortstop his last time up in the 5th. Pitch, swing and a miss, 1-1. 5-3 Keene. They've led since the bottom of the first grand slam by Garrett Rice. 3 back for Upper Valley in the top of the 6th. SwampBats got 1 in the bottom of the 6th to make it 5-3. Well, 1-1. He went around clearly, tried to hold up, did not. 1 ball and 2 strikes and a fastball high. Ciminello struck out Braden Horton with the bases loaded. The only batter he faced in the bottom of the 6th. 1-2. Taken. A little bit high outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looking to get Talamalier to chase.
That strikeout was critical. It kept this one a 2-run ball game. And from here on out, Upper Valley a chance to come back.
On 2-2, he takes strike 3 called. Fastball upper part of the zone. 2 batters faced and 2 strikeouts for Michael Ciminello, the Seton Hall Pirates senior.
Ciminello, he's a strikeout pitcher. Through it and through. 9 strikeouts and 5 2/3 of work with the Pirates this season, and showing true here, 2 up, 2 down, both by the strikeout.
Here's a Stony Brook outfielder, Michael Brown Earring. He takes high, 1 ball and no strikes. Brown Earring walked and scored in that 4-run first. Since then, he's grounded out to third and struck out. One-0, high, 2 balls and no strikes. Brown Earring, the cleanup batter for Keene. Garrett Rice, who's been on base all 3 times, scored twice and driven in 4 with that grand slam. He waits on deck. 2-0. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Going for it on 2-0, and now the count 2 balls, 1 strike on Matt Brown Earring. 5-3 SwampBats in the bottom of the 7th. 1 out, nobody on. The 2-1. On the inside corner at the knees, 2-2.
It's a good location from Simonello there, and avoiding the heart of the zone, living at the bottom and living at the corners, nibbling there. See if he goes back to it.
So far, so good for Simonello. 2-2. Fastball foul back out in front of that one. Looked like was Brown Earring. Been an off-speed pitch, in fact, and it's still 2-2. It feels straight up, outfields straight up. Here's a 2-2. Bounces. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That looked like it might have been another case of he not being on the same page, as Brugman will go out and talk to Simonello here. Brief conversation. Maybe just wanted to deliver the sign in person there. It's a quick meeting on the mound, but now they're ready to go. And a payoff pitch is incoming.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Lefty on righty here. Simonello works from the third base side of the rubber. Here's the pitch. Popped up right side, out of play toward the SwampBats bullpen. Chased by some kids and some SwampBats out there. One of the kids got there first.
Made it over by the tarp. They had to reach behind it. Some dedication over there.
I'd do anything for a foul ball. Not anything, but, you know. 3-2, foul back. SwampBats Baseball brought to you by More Than a Thrift Store, where your donations make a difference. Located on Ralston Street in Keene. Simonello takes his time. Sets in front of his chest. Payoff pitch. Foul back.
And that's the art, I think, of baseball without the pitch clock. Pitch clock, yes, it provides more action, but it allows, not having the pitch clock allows time for the pitchers to work and really decide, how they want to approach things and not rush into it.
I'll give you my take on the pitch clock in a minute. The 3-2 bounces on the plate, ball 4, and Brown Earring works a hard-earned walk. So I think the pitch clock is necessary in Major League Baseball. I don't think it's necessary at this level simply because we don't have the commercial breaks. I think that's why, when you've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds in between half innings and the game's going slow, that's how you get 3-4 hour games. We've got 60 seconds, 60 to 90 seconds in between the end of one inning, half inning, and the start of the next half inning. And that alone makes a difference as the pitch is outside 1-0 to the offensive hero tonight for the SwampBats, Garrett Rice. 1 for 1, 2 hit by pitches, 2 runs scored, and a grand slam back in the first inning. 1 on, 1 out. 5-3 SwampBats, bottom of the 7th. The 1-0. Fastball just off the inside corner, 2 balls and no strikes. So that's why I think the pitch clock is more of a necessity in Major League Baseball than here. The set. The rock of the pitch. Swing and a miss on 2-0, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
So then it's a difficult situation there where the minor leagues and college baseball, where both have the pitch clock, but don't necessarily have that need for commercial breaks.
The 2-1 fouled away.
But then at the same time, it's kind of a necessary, I don't want to say evil, but necessary to have the pitch clock at those levels for players to make the adjustment from high school ball and other levels where they don't have the pitch clock and prepare them for Major League Baseball with the clock.
There's other trade-offs and issues to it, too. One is simply having the technology, having the physical clock out there. 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a fastball. Third strikeout in 4 batters' face for Simonello. That brings up Trey Chula Hall, who's 0 for 2 with a walk his last time up. And obviously it has to be standardized across the league. So if you don't have it if you're not going to be able to get it in one ballpark, you can't have it at all.
I remember calling games at Hofstra. We did not have a physical clock, but the umpires still kept a timing of it on the field.
The pitch to Chula Hall, fastball high, out of his stance to snag it, is Brugman. So how did that work? The batters just had to hope they were ready in time?
Yeah, and there were a couple times where pitcher wasn't ready. The umpire, the field umpire, just says, wait a minute, that's a violation, ball 1.
Interesting. A 1-0 is up and away. Appeal on the swing. He did not go, which he certainly didn't appear to, did Chula Hall. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. 2 out, 1 on. Bottom of the 7th, 5-3 Keene. The 2-0. Swung on and missed, and it's 2 balls and a strike. So, yeah, that must be hard as a pitcher or as a hitter to have a clock but not even be able to see it.
Yeah, let's talk about the internal clock that develops.
Right. The best thing would be to have the pitch clock without the pitch clock violations. The 2-1 is a strike at the top of the zone, 2-2. Obviously, that's not how it works.
I remember when they first started trying to implement it at the minor league level, they were talking about having fines for players who would violate the rule. But I know the Players Association would probably never go for that to implement it at the major league level.
Runner goes. 2-2 is in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher Brugman, so it'll be an uncontested stolen base for Matt Brown-Earing. And the count runs full on Trey Chula Hall. It's the first attempted steal of the game for the SwampBats.
First steal of the season as well, so chalk that up to Matt Brown-Earing.
So full count, first base open now with Ramses Cordova on deck. Wide open stance for Chula Hall. The 3-2 is fouled toward the third base dugout. So we'll do it again on 3 balls and 2 strikes. SwampBats, like they've got a right-hander warming up in the bullpen. We'll see if Caden Campbell comes back on for the 8th or if they bring somebody in. See people standing around out there. Don't see the ball actually getting tossed. Payoff pitch in the dirt. Ball 4. Runner goes to third as the ball gets away from Brugman. Then got away from him again as he finally retrieves it. Going to third on the wild pitch is Matt Brown-Earing. Going to first on the base on balls is Trey Chula Hall.
With Simonello, we mentioned how much of a strikeout pitcher he is, but he also can at times struggle with his command. 7 walks this season, a .229 whip, and he also walked nearly a batter an inning with Burlington last summer.
Here's Cordova, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. First pitch to him. Fastball, swing and a miss, nothing in 1. Well, 5 batters faced, 3 strikeouts and 2 walks from Simonello. First and third, 2 outs here. Cordova trying to give the SwampBats another insurance run, up by 2 here in the bottom of the 7th. The 0-1 Fastball missing. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brown earing the runner at third. Shula Hall the runner at first. 4th time at the plate for the number 7 batter, Ramses Cordova from Winthrop University. Here's the 1-1. It is at the ease. Fastball strike, 1-2.
Cordova backed off the plate there. He thought it was inside, but has some two-seam action on that pitch. Ducked back over the plate to get the call.
Out of the hand of the lefty pitcher Simonello. Two-seam would run back toward the inside corner. The 1-2 is popped to the air to right. Should be playable for Harrington. He drifts over, drifts back to his right, and makes a catch to retire the side. And the 7th inning for the SwampBats. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left aboard.
At Keene State College, life is an adventure. You'll forge your path forward. As an owl, you'll take on challenges in the classroom, field, court, or track. Every worthwhile adventure has its share of blood, sweat, and tears. It takes hard work and dedication. No owl flies alone on their journey at Keene State. Teammates, coaches, professors, alumni, and fellow owls are with you along the way. They lift you up as you continue forward. When you're part of Owl Nation, you become the person you truly want to be.
Curious about the awesome talent Kelly has? Well, here are some robotics specialists. This group works in telecom on 5G. They work on autonomous vehicles. Those are education professionals. Oh, and system analysts, contact center reps, biologists. There's data scientists, substitute teachers, mechanical engineers, not to mention people who work on-site and off-site. Kelly's got top talent in specialized and emerging skill sets, ready to help your business prepare for what's next.
Haven't had too many defensive plays over the recent minutes of this ball game. In fact, the top of the 7th featured 5 batters, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. The bottom of the 7th featured 5 batters, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 1 flyout. So exactly one of the last 10 batters in this game has put the ball in play. That's what Jake Bullard will try to do as he leads off the top of the 8th against the new pitcher, Jordan Kalenda, for the SwampBats. And the first pitch misses, ball 1. Jordan Kalenda out of Kent State. His Golden Flashes went 42-16 this season. As the pitch is fouled back by Bullard. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kalenda, right-hand pitcher, 6'3", 180 from Pittsburgh. Sophomore at Kent State. 1-1. Misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. Kalenda hit 24 appearances, went 2-1 with a 3.12 ERA this spring. 2-1, swing and a miss at a fastball, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kalenda, 3-pitch mix. He throws a lot of sliders, 60% of them. Works quickly, 2-2. Foul back, and it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And he appeared in 24 games out of the bullpen this season for Kent State. An immediate impact as a freshman.
Here's a 2-2 to Bullard. Fastball high, 3-2. 5-3 SwampBats. 2 outs. Should say it should be no outs. Scoreboard says 2 outs, but Bullard leads off here at the top of the 8th.
Investing in a home
is flied in the air to right, near the warning track, but playable. Delemelier makes the catch right on the edge of the warning track. 1 man away.
You just can never be sure if the ball is going to stay in the yard once you hit it in the air here at Keene, but Bullard just under that one couldn't muscle it out enough to right center field to get it over the wall.
Sure, I'm intrigued to visit the other ballparks here in the NECBL. This is obviously the first game of the season. My first year here in the NECBL as Garrett Pike steps in. He takes a fastball high 1-0. But intrigued to see the dimensions of the different ballparks. Certainly they're odd here in Keene. What are they like in Upper Valley? We'll be there a few times this season as the pitch is upstairs.
Yeah, it seems pretty standard, if you could call standard, whatever, at Upper Valley. It's definitely no 352 to center field.
354 down the right field line.
Right, so
2-0. In for a strike on the inner half, 2-1.
So you can expect more of your traditional it's low to mid 300s to right and left.
2-1, pulled on the ground to first. Covering the bag is the pitcher Kalenda. Horton flips it to him. And there's 2 men away on the 3-1 putout.
And then, in the area of 400 to center. But, that's the art of collegiate summer baseball. You go all over the New England area here in the NECBL and see a variety of ballparks. And Keene is definitely one of the most unique dimensions.
It's one of my favorite things about baseball as D'Amico stands in, a right-hand batter, and he takes ball one inside. Just a different flavor, different fact that, the ballpark can affect the game. I think that's really cool. 1-0 on the ground towards short, takes an awful hop and bounces off Cordova, hit him in the chest, bounds into shallow center field, and is picked up there by the second baseman Rice, who calls time. That was
brutal hop.
Yeah.
Looked like it bounced off the lip of the infield and then took a nasty hop as the shortstop Cordova was prepared for it to bounce low, and instead he got the nasty high hop, took it off the chest, and he was defenseless there. It's going to be an infield single.
Yeah, I agree with that. Not too much Cordova could do. That was as bad a hop as they come.
But to your point on dimensions, that's also something that's it's a little bit unique to American baseball. You go overseas to the likes of Korea and Japan.
Pitch to Tyler Long, fastball high, 1-0. Long is 0 for 2, but he's walked and reached on an error.
You might get some fields that it's deeper in some parts, but it's pretty much uniform where it's a rounded outfield shape.
1-0 on the ground towards second, slowly hit, charging, backhanding is Rice, throws to first in time. And that retires the side. In the 8th inning for the Nighthawks. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. Middle of the 8th inning in Keene. It's the SwampBats 5, the Nighthawks 3. This is
Curious about the awesome talent Kelly has? Well, here are some robotics specialists. This group works in telecom on 5G. They work on autonomous vehicles. Those are education professionals. Oh, and system analysts, contact center reps, biologists. There's data scientists, substitute teachers, mechanical engineers, not to mention people who work on-site and off-site. Kelly's got top talent in specialized and emerging skill sets, ready to help your business prepare for what's next.
the 9th for the Upper Valley Nighthawks. It's 5-3 Keene. Michael Simonello, who has thrown 1 1/3 scoreless innings, is back out there for Upper Valley. He'll face 8, 9, and 1 in the SwampBats batting order in the bottom of the 8th. Jackson Owens starts it off, the catcher. Left on right, fastball up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Owen has struck out, singled, and been hit by a pitch. He's 1 for 2. The 1-0. Rides up and away, skips off the glove of the catcher Brugman, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. We take one more look at the out-of-town scoreboard, if we can. In the bottom of the 8th inning, the rest of the NECBL is one of 6 games in action this evening as the 2-0 sails to the backstop. It's 3-0.
So the Danbury Westerners and Ocean State Waves are on the bottom of the, or actually that one looks like it just went final. The Westerners got the 7-6 win over the Waves.
The 2021 NECBL champion, Danbury Westerners, the 3-0's a beanball. Got him in the back of the helmet, doesn't look shaken up. And Owen heads on to first base with his 2nd straight hit by pitch.
In other action, the Vermont Mountaineers held on to the lead and got the win on the road against the Mystic Schooners. Final score of that one is 5-2. The Sharks of Martha's Vineyard have a 8-5 lead at home against the North Shore Navigators. And at the top of the 9th, the Bristol Blues will try to rally down by 2, 3-1 against the Newport Gulls.
Here's Alec Rich. He tries to bunt, pops it up. Brugman will slide, make the catch in foul territory. Near the home plate end of the third base dugout. And Rich is retired for the 4th time. Trying to bunt that run into scoring position for the top of the order. Unsuccessful. 2nd time today that the SwampBats have been unable to get a bunt down. That brings up the top of the order. 5th time around the order. Aiden Korn has been on 4 times. He's walked, singled, reached on an error, and walked. He's also got a run scored and RBI in there. First pitch to him, up and away. 1 ball and no strikes.
Trying to find an update on the Steeple Cats and Blue Sox game. That game is not being reported to Point Streak.
Yeah, Steeple Cats Twitter is how I got the earlier update.
I'll look that up right now.
1-0. The pitch. Sails to the backstop. Owen goes to second and stops there.
That's a couple now in the inning that Simonello has uncorked all the way to the backstop. He might have lost his release point here in the last bit of work as the pitching coach for Upper Valley will make his way out of the dugout, Chad Sturge, and do have a final in the Steeple Cats game. North Adams won on opening day by the score of 6-4.
Again, opening day for everybody except for Newport and Mystic, who played last night. So Mystic now drops to 0-2. Newport looking to go to 2-0. SwampBats will be back here tomorrow against the Sanford Mainers. First pitch scheduled for 6:30. Love to see you out of the ballpark. Got a night sponsored by Games to Go. There will be some free glitter tattoos and balloon animals for the kids if you can make it down to Alumni Field. If not, we'll be on the air from 6:20 with the pregame show.
Sounds like a blast.
The 2-0 is up and in. 3-0. It really does. It's the worst part of being up here calling the game is you can't be down there enjoying all the festivities.
Oh, they can bring some of the festivities to you. Why not?
Maybe ask for glitter tattoo while I'm calling the game. Here's a 3-0. Down and in, ball 4.
So I mentioned next steps for the SwampBats. The Upper Valley Nighthawks will be back on the road tomorrow, all the way down at Old Mountain Field when they take on the Ocean State Waves. 6:30 first pitch there as well. And here comes Matt Paws out of the dugout. We're going to get a pitching change.
That was the 3rd walk allowed by Simonello, also struck out 3. And he hasn't given up a run yet, but he'll be responsible for runners on 1st and 2nd when we return. 5-3 SwampBats. We're in the bottom of the 8th. 1 out and 2 on for Keene. We'll step aside for the pitching change. 60 seconds. This is Keene SwampBats baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL network. Here in the bottom of the 8th, they have led since Garrett Rice hit a grand slam in the bottom of the 1st. I'll try and bring you a post-game interview, both if you're listening on Pure Oldies 104.1 or watching on the NECBL network. So stick with us either way after the game for the post-game show.
New pitcher on the mound for the Nighthawks is southpaw Luis Misla. He will be attending SUNY Cortland next year after 2 seasons at Hudson Valley Community College. He was teammates with Jacob Lapham at Hudson Valley, but he's going his own way now to SUNY Cortland next season. He is from Riverview, Florida, with Hudson Valley this year. He started 10 games, appeared in 13, a 5-2 record with 1 save, a 4.15 ERA, 82 strikeouts over 47 2/3. So we'll be looking for a strikeout or a ground ball here, inheriting a jam, 2-1 with 1 out, with the 2-hole hitter Braden Horton stepping to the plate.
Horton has grounded out, walked, and struck out twice. It's a lefty-lefty matchup here with 2 on and 1 out. And the first pitch is in for strike, 0-1.
The line to this point for Matthew Simonello, an inning and 2/3, no hits, no runs to this point, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, but is responsible for both runners on base.
The 0-1 is low and outside, nicely blocked by Brugman. He couldn't find it for a split second, but able to retrieve it just outside the dirt circle. 1 ball and 1 strike on Braden Horton. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Nighthawks. 5 runs, just 3 hits for the SwampBats. Grand slam by Garrett Rice in the first inning, still the difference. 1-1. Fastball in there, strike 2. Owen, the runner at second, he was hit by a pitch. Aiden Korn, the runner at first, he walked. The 1-2. Breaking ball gets away from the catcher Brugman. Both runners will advance. And the count now 2-2.
That takes away the double play, not what Misla was looking for.
See what they score that. Didn't look like the wildest of pitches.
It is a pass ball.
Yeah. So, pass ball. And the infield in now for the Nighthawks, with runners at second and third, already down by 2 in the bottom of the 8th. Infield in all the way around on the grass. 2-2. Breaking ball down and in. 3-2. Walk not the end of the world here.
Infield is drawn in here for the Nighthawks, trying to cut down what would be the 6th run and would give Keene a 3-run lead.
And the 3-2 is down low. He walked him. So Misla loses the first batter he faces. It's the 7th walk. Take that back. The 8th walk, in addition to 3 hit by pitches for SwampBat hitting in this game. Game that is now approaching, in fact, has passed the 3-hour mark. Swing and a miss. First pitch from Delamelier, 0-1 with the bases loaded now. Corners in, middle back for the Nighthawk defense.
Nighthawks have turned 2 double plays today, looking for a third.
0-1 to the right-hand batter. Big cut and a miss, 0-2. Delamelier hit by a pitch, struck out, grounded out, and struck out. 0-3 with a run scored. Looking to at least put the ball in the air here and give Keene another insurance run. The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blocked by Brugman, the catcher. Matt Brown Earring, the cleanup batter, is 2 on deck with 1 out and the bases loaded. 5-3 SwampBats, bottom 8. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a fastball away.
Big punch out there for Misla. In his career at Hudson Valley Community College, had a career K/9 of 16.24, so nearly 2 strikeouts per inning. And he got a big one there, a big second out for Upper Valley.
So, last chance for the SwampBats to get some insurance here in the bottom of the 8th. It's up to the cleanup hitter, Matt Brown Earring, who's 0-2 with 2 walks and a run scored. And he foul tips a fastball into the mitt. Brugman for strike 1. Owen at third, he was hit by a pitch. Korn at second, he walked. Horton at first, he also walked. And a balk is called. A balk will give the SwampBats another run. I'll be honest, I was looking at my scorebook, looking at the runner, so I didn't see what happened.
It looked like Misla lost his balance there in his windup and delivery. He started his delivery, but then stopped. It seemed like he was going to fall off his delivery, so I figured, or he figured rather, as the 0-1 is in for a strike, he figured might as well just stop his delivery and not risk throwing the ball away, as it would pretty much have the same outcome.
So a run there for the SwampBats. 0-2 to Brown Earring. Popped up near home plate. Foul territory. First base side. It's the catcher, Brugman, who at the last moment reaches back above his head to make the catch. Bullard was coming in from first base as well. And that retires the side. But the SwampBats get a run on a hit by pitch, 2 walks, and a balk. 1 run, no hits, no errors.
Your next Ford is waiting at Monadnock Ford. Right now, get a great offer like this on your next new Ford. See these offers and more at MonadnockFord.com. Monadnock Ford, home of the low price tire guarantee and your local Ford and used car retailer. Voted Keene's best.
For the Upper Valley Nighthawks on opening day. SwampBats lead 6-3. Top of the order for Upper Valley. Dylan Palmer leads off and takes strike one. Jordan Kalenda pitched the 8th inning for the Keene SwampBats. As this one is grounded to first, it gets past the glove of Horton. That'll be an E3. Just bounced over his glove. Kalenda still in the game as the pitcher trying to get the 6-out save. It's the 4th error of the game by the SwampBats.
Well, that's just what speed can do there. Dylan Palmer, we noted his speed earlier in the broadcast, and that's what happened. Maybe hearing those footsteps over at first was Horton, and now a speed threat on at first.
To be fair to Horton, it was another bad hop. As the pitch is down and away, 1-0 to Darius Myers, who's 1 for 3 with a walk. Not as bad as the hop off the lip of the grass that ate up Cordova last inning. 1-0, pulled on the ground foul, 1 ball and 1 strike, but bad enough hop to hop over the glove of the first baseman there, Horton. Ball and a strike on Darius Myers. The pitch. Hop foul over the grandstand and out of play. Actually bounces on top of the grandstand and into the woods behind. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 6-3 Keene. Top of the 9th on opening night in the NECBL. Both teams missed the playoffs last season. Looking to get off to a good start this season. Runner goes 1-2 on the ground to short. They stay out of the double play. Cordova charges, and it pops out of his glove on the transfer as he was trying to hurry the throw on a softly hit ball. It's the 5th error of the game by the SwampBats and the 2nd in a row.
Yeah, you mentioned it, back-to-back here. It's where the pressure heaps on now with, all you need is 3 outs to close this ball game out, but with each batted ball, it just more people that have to handle it and the greater chance of error. And 2 in a row now, the tying run to the plate now for the Nighthawks.
I've got the record book here in my SwampBats program. I was hoping that the first thing I'd have to look up in it wasn't going to be errors in a game, but I have to check on that as Cesarini takes strike 1.
And it's really one of those unorthodox ones, but early in the season, you mentioned it, rust you could have to knock off. It's possible you could see some mistakes early on.
The 0-1 Cesarini is on the ground to third. Picked up by Chula Hall. He goes to second and gets a big force out there. The other runner, Palmer, moves up to third. That was a smart play for Trey Chula Hall. It will go 5-4 on the fielder's choice. Keep the tying run off the base paths, and Kevin Brugman will step in. 3 ground balls, but only 1 out. Here in the top of the 9th. 6-3 SwampBats as a pitch to Brugman's inside 1-0. 6-3 SwampBats. Runners on the corners and 1 out for Upper Valley in the top of the 9th. The pitch is in for strike 1.
And for Chula Hall on that last ground ball, he really took his time with it, and you have to admire that. Just settle things down. He could have tried to rush it and get a double play, but instead got a force out, got a shore out.
The pitch in for a strike, 1-2. Well, SwampBats' record for errors in a season is 81. Be on pace for more than that here. The 1-2 is down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A wise take by Brugman. He was cocked up, ready to go with that bat. Defensive on a 1-2 count, but instead watches it go by and back to an even count.
2-2. Taken. Just inside. And the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Interested to see here if the Nighthawks will send Cesarini from first.
Last time they center runner to stay out of the double play. It worked spectacularly. He got an error out of it. Here's a ground ball to third. Chula Hall to his left. Bobbles. Fields with a bare hand. Throw to first. It's on time. What a recovery by Trey Chula Hall. He bobbled it, and his only chance would have been to do exactly what he did, which was snag the ball with his bare hand out of midair and throw a strike to first.
Oh, man, it was a bang play at first base. From our vantage point, it looked like Brugman might have beat it out by a quarter of a step, but the man with the best view was Tim Barrett at first base, and he said the throw beat him.
Harrington now, the tying run, hit a home run in this game. The pitch is low and inside, gets away. Oh, it hit him. It must have clipped him somewhere in the lower leg. The runner, Cesarini, tried to move up to third. He'll have to move back to second, but the tying runs are aboard now with 2 outs in the top of the ninth. Dylan Palmer scored an unearned run on the 5-3 RBI ground out by Brugman. It's 6-4 now. 2 out, 2 on, top of the ninth. Harrington 1 for 4 with that home run. And he takes a strike. Fastball in there from Jordan Kalenda. And the count 0-1. And beg your pardon, Harrington was just hit by pitches. This is Jake Bullard, the first baseman. Good catch, Ian. Bullard swings and misses. It's 0-2.
Good aggressiveness by Kalenda. Has some time to waste some pitches, but I wouldn't be surprised if he comes right at Bullard.
Nighthawks down to their final strike, the 0-2. Fastball rides high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Jake Bullard is 0 for 4. He's lined to right, grounded to short, struck out looking and flied to right. He's the go-ahead run. Tying runs are on first and second. The 1-2. Swing and a grounder to second base. Rice feels the long hop, tags the runner going from first to second. Harrington, that retires the side. That ends the game. The SwampBats win it by a final score of 6-4. 4 unassisted. The fielder's choice from Jake Bullard. In the 9th inning for Upper Valley, they score a run on no hits at the help of 2 errors and 2 men left on base. A final score tonight from Keene, the SwampBats 6 and the Upper Valley Nighthawks 4. We'll be back with a post-game show in a few minutes, so stick with us for that. Hope to have a post-game interview with one of the SwampBats stars of the game. Again, 6-4 your final. This is SwampBats Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL Network.
a walk. I just wanted to take a good at-bat and get a run across for us.
You also reached base twice later in the game on a couple of hit-by pitches. It was kind of an odd, funky game overall.
Yeah.
What was it like playing in that?
Yeah, that was a weird one. It's slower than most of the games here, so just staying alert and staying focused was a big thing tonight for us to focus on.
What's the feeling in the dugout after the first starting the season with a win?
It feels good. We got to clean up some stuff. Wasn't as pretty as we'd like, but it's an early summer it's early in the summer, and we know we're going to clean it up and get where we want to be.
And before we let you go, tell me what you're most looking forward to here in your second summer in Keene.
Being in front of these fans, it's a great atmosphere, and just playing with all these new guys and playing in front of the fans is what excites me the most.
Thanks so much, Garrett. Appreciate you joining us.
Appreciate it.
Garrett Rice with a grand slam in the first inning. That proves to be the difference in this ball game as the SwampBats win it by a final score of 6-4. Before we go, we'll give you the final totals. And again, remind you once more that our next broadcast is tomorrow at 6:30 against Sanford. That's the first pitch, but we'll be on the air both on the NECBL network and on Pure Oldies 104.1 with the pregame show from 6:20. For the Nighthawks, they dropped to 0-1 on the new season. They had 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 11 men left on base. For the SwampBats, they improved to 1-0. They had 6 runs on just 3 hits, 5 errors, and 10 men left on base. The winning pitcher is Cole Stallings. He improves to 1-0. The losing pitcher is Jacob Lapham. Jordan Kalenda picks up the save in a game that took 3 hours and 12 minutes. That is going to do it for us here from Alumni Field. For Steve Pearson, Ryan Hearn on the NECBL network, Forrest Sundstrom back in the Pure Oldies 104.1 studio, and everybody at the Monadnock Broadcasting Group and the Keene SwampBats, I'm Jonah White saying thanks so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Once again, the final score, the Keene SwampBats 6 and the Upper Valley Nighthawks 4. This is Keene SwampBats Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL Network.
You've been listening to Keene SwampBats Baseball on Pure Oldies.